Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 80 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
You know my guy over here.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
On the other end, we have... And together we form...
Insensitive culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Make sure you check it out, homie. And I'm really happy that it's episode 80, man.
80.
These numbers, we're going to get to a point where we're just going to stop acknowledging. Like, we'll mention the numbers, but we just can't get too excited about it. But I just feel like even 80 is a milestone, dude.
Till we hit like 100, everything's like, oh shit, 81?
Yeah.
Damn. 82? Oh shit. This is not going to stop for the next 20 episodes, dude.
I say that, and we're
that's
probably
cool.
going to be excited. Episode 1,280. Damn.
1,000. Whoa, shit.
Word.
We fucking.
Oh, man. Hopefully by that time I'll be paying somebody. It's like, what episode is this again? All right, cool. Won't even have to mention it. Oh, man. Keeping track of all that shit.
Like the corporate Wayne's World sponsors. Remember, like when they just had like the stupid Wayne's World song? It was like, yeah, that's what's going to be.
Excellent.
But it's going to be insensitive culture, though. It's going to be some lame ass insensitive culture song.
Insensitive.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Brought
man.
to you
No.
by Insensitive.
Yeah, brought to you by... I was going to throw in a
Noah's
name of
Noah's
somebody.
Arcade.
Yeah, Noah's Arcade. Let's go with Noah's Arcade. It doesn't
There you
actually
go.
exist. I was going to say a real thing. I was just like, nah, they're not paying us, so
Nah.
I'm not doing that. Brought to you by Noah's Arcade.
Noah's Arcade.
Bro, do we have like legit arcades? I know we have like one but it's like a nostalgia type bar locally.
I saw
here.
I was in a mall. I forget what mall. There was a little timeout still.
They still
with
have
like
a
there was a
timeout?
timeout with video games. Yeah, it was timeout game station. I don't know. It had some stupid name, but timeout was definitely in it. But like, I just walked by. I didn't go in there or anything. But it looked shitty. Dude.
Remember
It looked
when we were
empty.
a kid? Like
Yeah,
we
they
would
were
look
fire,
for those
dude.
timeouts. But like,
I
yo,
knew right where they were. I didn't have to look for them. So like, we were right in the corner of the motherfucking food
Yep,
court. Dog.
that's
You
true.
just-
Word.
Dudes were pumping out the quarters with a little machine.
Yep. Now,
Fire.
I think it was at Eastview out in Victor, New York. They had like a VR area.
Yeah,
I've
that's what I
never
was gonna
seen.
say.
I've
Yeah.
never seen anyone in there. But they had like a little VR station. I always thought it was kind of dope. I wanted to check it out, but I never had the chance.
Oh, what year was that?
That was
I think it's
when
still
I
there.
was working at the mall. It's still there. Yeah, it should be
Yeah, I
still
think
there.
it's
Oh.
still there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I'm talking like recent
Okay, I was,
now.
just, like, I was picturing like us
anything-
as kids, and I was like, "Damn, I missed a whole VR section in this motherfucker."
Oh,
I was
no,
watching
no,
dudes
no.
play
No,
Mortal
no, no.
Kombat for
I'm
like
talking about
10
now
years.
because now we don't have the arcade.
Right.
We have
We have
like VR
VR
stations.
courts.
If
Yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Arcade machines can be surprisingly affordable
yeah.
these days now too.
yeah.
Like you don't have to pay fucking I don't even know whatever they paid in like
My-
the 80s when them shits were popping.
My girl, she takes my kids to Chuck E. Cheese, and they have a
got
whole
games,
new
yeah.
thing. Well, they have games. It's not really. I wouldn't call it like an arcade or anything like that. But
No.
I was talking more about their payment system, where now it's a wrist strap. You pay for unlimited games for half an hour, and that activates the strap. And then you just wave it in front of it, and then you get to play the game.
Interesting.
So I could walk around just picking little kids up, putting them in front of their shit all day, and just banging the games
Pretty
out.
much, yeah.
That's dope.
She was saying that she was happy to take the kids because Xander would actually be able to play, and then Violet, my 1.5-year-old,
Mhm.
she just goes up to machines and just like likes lighting
Dope.
them up and then moving on. So she's just giving
everyone
free
else
of
free
charge.
games.
yeah, free games for
Oh,
whoever else
nice.
is playing.
Nice.
But she just has a blast doing that. Like she just and then laughs when it dings or
Yeah.
whatever, and then she moves on. So so she likes taking them to that shit. But that's
an interesting concept.
it is.
Kinda
It
like
is. I mean, but
all
if you
you
really
can
think
eat.
about it, it's like Dave and Buster's. It's not all you can eat, but you purchase whatever amount on, you put it on a
You put
card,
it on
you
the
swipe the
cards,
card. Yeah, so but
That's what I was
like
gonna
the
say.
idea.
Was David Buster's is kind of still an arcade. I would say it's.
Yeah,
I think
would
Dave
say
and Buster's
that
is
too.
more of an arcade with food versus
Yeah,
a bar food place that has arcade stuff. I think they're more
Right.
focused on the games.
oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
got to be their breadwinner, dude.
Word.
The-
Definitely.
The reason why I don't acknowledge it in the same way is because I remember like games, like they made games specifically for arcades, and they made the games that were specifically for systems, and sometimes there was a specific game that would, be on both, like Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. But I miss playing those type of games, like where you can actually get to a level. Now it feels like they are like
Just
app
until
games.
you die, like you can't.
Yeah,
even
app
get through
games,
it.
there's really no way to get past a certain point. You just die, and there's really no. There's a little bit of a story, but I'm thinking like the majority of them are just shooting games,
like the
where it's
Walking
just
Dead
mindless
game.
shooting,
Like the
you know
Walking
what I
Dead
mean?
game.
Yeah.
At,
and it's like
at Dave
survival.
and Buster's, like you can only go so far in that.
Yeah.
Like they overwhelm you and shit. Like
Right, but they don't take
tough.
any skill. So I miss
Right.
those
So you
old
want,
school
like-
games where you have some sort of skill and it takes you.
some
You
strategy.
want to play
Some strategy to get
Cyberpunk
it.
2077 in Dave and Buster's. Like those types of
Yeah.
strategy games.
Yeah,
While
or
you
not even
stand.
something like that. Because Cyberpunk is more open world, right?
It's very open.
So
world.
Yeah.
so it's more open world.
Open
I'm thinking
world
something
RPG-ish.
like a God of War type thing where you do where you go through the levels. It's all
Yeah, yeah.
linear path,
Uh-huh.
but it still takes some skill. Like if you
Ooh.
do,
or like Uncharted,
or like
That would be a
Uncharted. Yeah,
good-
Uncharted would be
be
dope.
2-player too.
It's still it's linear, but it's still a little bit more open world than like a God of War.
It's tough with those though, because you can't like move around. With a lot of those shooters, like you're not really like it goes for you. It moves the character, and your job is to fucking
Yeah,
shoot.
it's just literally survive.
Yeah.
See how many people you can shoot, and you're just like, So I like the strategy games. I wish they would bring something like that back, where
Could be
where
interesting.
if you had some skill, you're just like taking up the time on there because no, I haven't died yet, bitch.
What about like Pac-Man? Like OG Pac-Man. There's
What
like
about it?
there's strategy to that. Do you think that
Yeah,
counts?
yeah,
As,
I
like,
mean-
you can get past this level. Like there's levels, and
That
difficulty
counts.
increases. Like is that something more like what you're talking about?
It is. It's something where you have the opportunity of not dying. Like these survival games, I just feel like like you're getting shot up, or they're coming at you, and you're just like like it's made for you to die and for you to
Yeah.
just pump this thing full of coins.
What was that shooter where the gun actually, like the hammer would fucking slam back when you were shooting? You remember that? Like that's how you would load it. Like you would
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
was
cock
it?
it back.
Wasn't it
was
Time Attack or something like that?
Time Crisis.
Time
Time
Crisis.
Crisis,
Yeah,
yeah.
Time Crisis.
Dude, yeah, those
And it
were
would go
dope. Yeah, yeah, like you would feel the kick in your hand. You thought you
Yeah.
were fucking badass,
Yeah,
dude.
those are dope. Those are dope.
So dope.
But that's what I miss from when I ask, like, are there any real arcade games? But I guess not, because they're not
really.
making any new worthwhile arcade games. It's more like a lot of them are like the app games, like Fruit Ninja and like jump, like the ones where you just jump and you just kind of like I
Right.
can play that on my phone, but I'm gonna spend X amount of coins here to do
Right.
that. And other than that, it's the
It's a lot of
classic
retro.
skee-ball,
Yeah.
basketball, like those type of things. But I wanted
I mean,
something
the
like if you
power
could
of the
play it for
video
God of
game
War,
console-
like that would be dope.
I think the power of the home video game console just kind of took out the need for having a place where we all gather to play
And the
one
PC.
game together, because
Yeah.
that's the only place it can exist. You know what I mean? So like, why would I go to Dave and Buster's to play this like exclusive version of God of War or something, or some similar type of God of War game? Like, eventually, that game maker is gonna be, unless they got paid like a shit ton of money by Dave and Buster's, they're gonna put it on PS5 and Xbox Studio X1 or whatever the fuck it's called.
What if they do it like a movie release? Like, you can have this exclusive version of it, but for X amount of time, it's only available at, and people
just don't
it
think they
probably
make enough
isn't even a
money.
big draw.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's
These
not
video
a big enough
games,
draw.
like they make how much these fucking games make in like a weekend, especially on pre-orders and shit, right?
They can make a lot.
Hells yeah. Let's see, Assassin's Creed, like revenue. Massive profit for Ubisoft. Holy bro, they're never gonna make this.
They're not gonna. Like, why would we do this?
In 2020, this
can't
this
do
was
the-
written
you can't do
February
the
13th
open
of
world
2021.
stuff, though.
Bro, Assassin's Creed earned $1.2 billion over the holiday season.
Wow.
There's just never gonna happen at an arcade.
It would
There's
have
no
to be-
incentive for these developers to do something like that, unless
Yeah,
you're
it
an
would have
indie
to be like
developer,
the-
like a dope indie developer, or somebody that left one of these big companies and decided to start their own. They might be able. We just gave you an idea. If you're trying to leave your game developer company, there's your idea. Create an exclusive arcade video game and bring the masses to you.
To the gentleman who
Smart.
created that open world Batman '89.
Yeah,
You should
that was
just release
dope.
that. Release
Oh,
that
that
to
was
an
dope.
arcade.
Put that shit on a Raspberry Pi.
And to release that shit to an arcade system, to
Seriously.
an arcade company, and finish it up.
Mm.
Like, yo, it's only exclusive to Dave and Buster's. You would have to show up at a Dave and Buster's in order to play this game.
And I would.
It was pretty dope.
That was super
Okay,
dope.
okay. So apparently that 1.2 billion was in like ongoing transactions and shit like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in just sales, it made $240 million.
It's a nice chunk of
Nice,
change.
yeah. Fuck.
No, never mind. Ignore me. This is the film, the Assassin's Creed movie. I'm surprised
What?
the Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
movie
that made that
$240
much
That
money,
made
dude?
that much money?
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, that one?
That shitty ass movie.
Fuck.
In
I
the
never
U.S., it
watched
was only
that.
54 overall,
Yeah.
worldwide, global.
54,000 US.
I saw that
Trash.
movie. Yeah.
Did you really?
I saw that movie. I think I fell asleep. I wasn't
Bro,
paying attention,
I love
but I
Michael
don't remember
Fassbender.
anything.
I love him, and I could not.
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
will
sure
not-
I
will not
downloaded
do
it. I
this.
didn't buy it or anything like that. This was back when I was still very much downloading movies. Nah,
Mm-mm.
nah,
Nah.
not doing that.
Got my tickets to the new Assassin's
Not
Creed
gonna
movie
do it.
tonight. Ready to go?
Nope.
Nah.
Hell no.
I'm straight.
I'm excited for Shang-Chi though.
Shang-Chi, yeah,
Word.
now that we know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
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 Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Apparently a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
even
it's a
big
huge
enough
deal.
It got me
I
hype.
I saw an interview with Kevin Feige on the red carpet, and he was talking about it, and he was explaining how it was a huge movie and what to expect from it, and the reception. I think I was talking to the guys last night to my boys, and they were saying like, yeah, we talk a lot of shit about like Marvel and stuff because they've been flopping sometimes, like they're wishy-washy on what they do, which depends on the person. We can agree or disagree, but a lot of people have been feeling that way about
Different
Marvel
podcast.
too. But either way, they were like, and I agree, all of the reviews have been amazing. Like, I haven't heard anything bad about it. Everyone is super excited about it, and because of that, it's a must watch.
Yeah.
And they're saying that this movie is is like the official start of the next phase, where how we started with Iron Man and we had a new like everything was new, that this is going to be
This
the
is
start of the next.
This is the catalyst.
I mean, this really
Yeah.
is the first
Yeah.
movie
Black
in
Widow
Phase
doesn't
4,
count.
right? Because Black Widow wasn't really a part of
No.
Phase 4.
No. But it kind of feels like Phase 4 is the
you
shows.
include the the new Black Widow, her little sister or whatever. That's kind of phase 4. The shows kicked it off, but from the film perspective, yeah, this is the first one to be released. And that interview where he was like, that, you know, that where they did the test audiences and they all come out and they're like excited for the next movie and like, yo, when's the next time we're gonna see this person? And that there's a lot of characters from that we already know that are showing up in Shang-Chi, which I was surprised to hear. And
he didn't say a lot. He said there's a few, which we know
a good number.
Wong and Abomination are 2 of them off the bat that we know. So it could just be them.
I feel like there's more than that.
Maybe.
You can't give all the jewels in the trailer.
Nah. But I'm looking forward to it, and it's gonna be dropping tomorrow. So by the time this episode drops, you're probably excited to go watch it tonight. You know, because generally the showings start Thursday night, and
that's right. Yeah.
So
good for theaters. I bet theaters are stoked.
Theaters are very excited because
I hope it kills.
I went to the theater.
There's no Disney option for this one, right? It's just straight theater only.
Yeah, it's just theater only. But I went to the theater recently for my daughter's birthday this time around, and we went to see Jungle Cruise, which was a Disney option, and there was a surprising. It wasn't like a packed theater.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't dead. There was a good like 5 or 6 families that were in the theater, you know, probably a little bit more. And like families of like I know our group was like 8 of us or something like that.
I got you.
And a lot of them were similar. So it didn't feel like a dead theater. So that felt good. And once it's not an option on any streaming platform,
what else you gonna
I think people are just gonna like fuck it. They're gonna make it.
So I'm saying if you give them that option, they're lazy. They're not gonna myself. I'm speaking from experience, so I can say that. Like if it's there, I'm not gonna go see that shit. But now I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go to the theater at some point.
Trying to figure out how to get to the theater this weekend.
Bruh. And I do not want anything to get spoiled, so I'm making it to the theater. Somehow, I may have to purchase my ticket ahead of time because.
Oh, you didn't get tickets yet?
Night showings?
Is there still?
There is Thursday night showing.
I don't know. Yeah. There is Thursday night showings is generally when it starts. Remember when it used to be Thursday night at midnight, and we used to have to go at midnight, and then they were like, we could do it like 8, 9 o'clock.
Right.
If you're going Friday, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
We're buying tickets and shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But I definitely have to watch it.
About to go back to the theater. Shit.
Oh man. But guys, let's get into some questions. We got into a little Hollywood talk a little early on.
Cut into some Hollywood.
Yeah, we was already fucking with some Hollywood early on.
But he was already on Hollywood.
Right. We do have a couple questions. So this is a good one. Have you ever bugged out on customer service? My answer is fuck yes, I have. I've worked customer service, so
Same.
I try.
Yeah, no.
I try not to, and I don't believe that I've ever like really bugged out at like face-to-face customer service. It's always over the phone.
Yeah.
It's never face-to-face. I don't give people attitude. Maybe if like I'm like if it's a like ridiculous wait at like a fast food restaurant, I'm like waiting. You know how you get to like a McDonald's or something and they have that drive-through where you can't drive off?
Yeah,
you're just stuck there.
Those terrify me. I don't like that. I don't like being trapped there.
I remember being in one of those for like a half an hour where the line just did not move and I was in the spot where I couldn't drive off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, what the I didn't like spaz out, but that was an instant where I wanted to spaz out in person. But most of them are over the phone.
Yeah.
Because people when customer service, because it's not always just a customer service people over the phone give you attitude like crazy, and they'll talk to you any way they want because they know that if you start to
just hang up.
If you start to hang up, or if you start to give them attitude, they can just hang up on you. Sir, I'm going to disconnect the call. But the most infuriating times that I've ever had with quote unquote customer service is dealing with child support over the phone, trying to figure out like why did this happen? Oh, it's the worst because it's not necessarily customer support. Yeah, but it's New York State. Yeah, it is customer support, but it's New York State. So their whole thing is they probably have angry fathers, and I'm saying fathers because how often does a mother have to call in regards to child support, right? A very small amount, right? Unless she's looking for it, right? But I remember calling like, yo, a ridiculous amount has been like taken out of my account, and it was nothing that I did. It was like work related stuff, switching jobs, wasn't coming out, didn't notice. It was some crazy stuff, and I'm just calling for information so we can get it cleared up. And they treat you like you are the biggest piece of shit on the planet. So like, instantly,
we got another deadbeat dad trying to call in.
Right. Exactly. So then I get the all right, so you have two options. You either pay this right now, or we can, whatever block is placed on whatever, like you either pay it right now, or you can, you can sign paperwork, but we have to mail it to you. We have to, like, it was like this stupid, I don't want to get into the details because it's just infuriating, but the way that they talk to you, the way that they treat you, and then I've gotten to the point where I'm like furious, just like screaming at this person, like, yo, do you not understand what I am telling, that point? And that is probably the craziest that I've ever gotten. To the point where they hang up on me. Sir, all right, I'm hanging up on you. They hang up on you. You go through the call, like all of the prompts again, because there's 1,000 prompts just to get to a person. You wait on hold after the prompts for like 15 minutes. To that point where I couldn't calm down even in that thing, because when they picked up the phone again, I yelled and I got hung up on again, bro.
It's like, don't get heated.
I didn't even yell like at the person, but I was just talking all hyped up because I was so angry at the situation.
They immediately disconnected again.
And they're just like, sir, you are yelling. I am going to hang up on you. And I'm like, but I am not yelling. I am just upset in general. I am not saying any, sir, all right, sir, click. And then they hang up on you. And then it's like,
okay, sir.
You really like have to call back and just be like,
hey,
like, yeah, just like, my name is blah, blah, blah. Like, but yeah, they've gotten me to that point.
You're reading a manifesto that you've written to them.
Bro, that is the most infuriating. Like, I can't wait. My daughter just turned 8. I have 10 more years to deal with that. I cannot wait until that whole thing is over.
I don't envy that.
I don't want to deal with that like ever in life again. But yeah. How about you guys?
I mean, just like you said, like, we haven't worked and been on the other end of those.
Yeah.
More often than not doing what we did. Actually, it wasn't the cable company. No. And like, I'm usually chill with because I expect a shitty time. Like when I called the cable company, like I know I'm fucked. They're going to be dicks. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm not going to have any resolution to what I'm calling for. Yet I still call anyway because I have to. Like and the same with like your phone company. If you call Verizon or AT&T, like nothing fucking. They're like, we need you to bring this into the store or some bullshit. But so I have my bank account set up where I get alerts if anything gets taken out of my account.
Yep.
No, it's not. See, that's the thing. It's not even the bank. It's not even the bank. So one night, I'm in my room. I'm watching TV. It's probably like 1 a.m, and I see a $45 charge come through from a website, a video game website that I used to play on. And I'm like, oh motherfuck! I never took my card off this account. It's compromised, and they hit me for $45. Son of a bitch! And all of a sudden, another one comes in, $45. dang, I'm getting these fucking texts coming in, $45, just racking off my account, and I'm bugging, dude. I'm like, I have to call this company. I call the dude. I'm like, hey, I can't get into my account. I haven't played your game in X amount of years. I need you to, just deactivate the account, whatever you need to do, because like they're literally charging my card right now. And he's like, yeah, I need you to send me a picture of your license. I need this documentation. I'd be like, what's your name, sir? It's like Matthew or some bullshit like that. I'm like, Matthew? I'm trying to be real cool here, man. Like, I don't freak out on people, but like, this is not good right now. Like, I need to speak to whoever your manager. Like, I literally Karen'd out, asked for a manager. Like, it crushed my soul to even do that. Like, even in the angry state that I was in, to have to ask for a manager, like, it literally, like, it haunts me to this day. And, he gets whoever on the phone, and I'm like explaining to this dude, I'm like, do you hear that? Like, I'm holding my fucking phone up to the phone. There's like ding, ding, and they're just fucking charging me, dude. And I'm like, please deactivate this account, dude. And
do you understand that every ding is $45
or however many? Yeah, yes, whatever currency is in your language, sir. Please deactivate this fucking account.
Yeah.
And I didn't swear because I knew that's an instant hang up, and I could not afford a hang up at the time. So I was being pissed, but I wasn't swearing at all.
You just couldn't.
And eventually the charges stopped, and he's like, okay, sir, after I was on hold for a little bit, and they must have deactivated the account. And then once they did, I was able to log into it and remove my card and shit off of there. And then I called the bank, and the bank was honestly like, oh yeah, no, that's bullshit, dude. We'll take care of that for you. Like, that was chill after the bullshit that I went through with that company on the phone. Huh. And yeah, that was my Karen moment, dude. Yeah. I'm not proud of it, but it was brutal.
I've never gotten to the point where I asked for a manager.
I'm just saying. Don't even like that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, listeners.
I never say like a manager. It's always my whole thing is like, is there another
another person I can speak with?
Like another tier that I could talk, because I'm usually trying to get some sort of resolution. Gotcha. It's like, hey, I understand that you are not the person that can authorize something like this. Is there a department that specifically like they can deal with this? Can you forward me to that department kind of thing? It's never like a yo, I need you to fuck right off and give me your manager so I can get you in trouble kind of thing. I'm not saying that you were bad for doing that, but I'm just saying, like,
I wasn't trying to get nobody in trouble. I was saving my money, dog.
Like, bro, I would have flipped the fuck out.
I was in college. I was in college at the time, dude. Like, I couldn't afford hits to my account like that. So I was working at a pizza shop part time.
Oh, I've worked at a pizza shop part time. Those $25 paycheck. I remember I got that part. We talked about that. You're a $25 fucking paycheck, and then the motherfucker want to tell me, hey, you have to work on Christmas and New Year's. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Watch me not show up.
Did you ask for his manager? Sir, this will not stand.
No, they asked for my manager.
Oh, that's me. You're fucking fired,
yeah,
Rock.
You're fucking fired. That was the one where I called and I was just like, yeah, I'm never coming. Oh, they called me. They were like, hey, you coming? No. I'm never showing up again.
Peace.
No, like ever in life.
Shotgun blast, and the phone just drops. Like, damn, he's not coming in. He's not coming back. He's done.
Damn.
Oh, man. He's done. Shit. You got brutal real quick.
Word.
Sorry. This manager
Kurt
shit.
Cobain
It's got me
himself over
Karen
there.
mode.
Jeez. Bang, bang. All right. So, Johnny, you have one where you flipped out? I'm sure you have
Johnny's
a lot.
so chill. Johnny's chill, dude. I don't see him.
I'm maybe a long time ago that I can't remember, but nah, man.
He's usually so high all the time. It doesn't matter.
That's the problem, is that I'm high all the time. So I really,
what the fuck you think I'm doing over here?
I don't. You using some other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It is like, especially like recently, like the most recent example I have is the garbage collection at my at the cottage over at the lake, right? Like they just often don't show up. Like they just skip my house
Damn.
for some reason or other. And it usually happens that it's one of those weekends because it's a Monday pickup. And so
Mine too.
oftentimes, and they're super early at my spot. I think they pick up like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Usually that's what it's always been in the past. Anyways, it typically would be like a weekend that I decide to not come back to the city until Monday. And so I don't put the trash out until after I leave. And I'm like, shit, I think I missed the trash. No big deal, right? I'm either not coming back the following week or whoever's coming it's not gonna be a big old blast or anything. So it'll just be a full trash can instead of 1 or 2 bags. Anyways, that's typically when they decide, yeah, we're not going to pick it up that week. So then you show up 2 weeks in a row. Now you got technically 3 weeks worth of trash there, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
3 weekends. Thank God I don't spend the whole week there, because if I did, and the shit was, they was always good until the pandemic hit. And the pandemic hit, I guess they got like way more customers because people that usually drop their own trash off didn't want to do it. And they switched drivers and routes up or some shit. And ever since then, it would just, randomly, they wouldn't fucking show up. So it's like I'm always nervous. Like I hope they pick up the fucking trash tomorrow.
Damn.
And it just happened again recently. But every time, honestly, I don't think I ever blew up on the customer service person, because if I get to speak to a manager and the manager is giving me like pushback, then I'll blow up. But whenever I'm talking to like that first line person on the phone, I just know that they have zero control, power, influence, or responsibility for what has happened. So I'm always just like, all right, listen, just like you was saying, I was like, all right, this is the situation. My name is Johnny, and this is what's going on. And I might show a little bit of, frustration in my voice to try to get the point across, but I never like blow up on that first customer service rep. I guess it's from all the years of having done it, both in face and over the phone. And it's just like, I just know that that's not going to get me anywhere, right? And so I'm like, I've gotten away from ever doing that. Now, again, like I said, if I get a manager on the phone and they're trying to blow me off or trying not being helpful, then I will definitely, I will get hyped. But I can't remember the last time that's happened.
Yeah. See, I used to be
catch
so
more honey?
good with that. Yeah, you catch more bees
with honey.
Yeah, you do. That's true.
I used to be so good with that shit, and lately I have not been. Especially when it comes to, like in my situation, when it comes to child support, because it's literally like,
you're in much more frustrating situations than I have.
It's like, so what do you want, a rock or the hard place?
Right.
And it's like, well, this is my situation. Like, what else can you? So we can give you the rock or the hard place, and you have to choose it. And it's like, but you're not even listening to me.
Yeah.
So which one do you want? Is the rock or the? And then when it gets to that point, it's just like mother, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like, yo, especially when they like have the power of putting like your bank account on hold, so now you can't pay anything.
Freezing your assets.
That was the only time.
Trafficker.
That was the only time that I've ever experienced something like that, and it's just like, yo, this is clearly like a mistake that happened. Like, we're correcting it. Give me the right information. I'll get it to the right people. Right. And they're just like, yeah, so, which one do you want? The rock, which, you do it right now, and we take all these funds that you don't have out of your account, or you sign paperwork, which we have to mail it to you. You have to mail it back, and in that whole time, you have no bank account to use, to pay any of your bills, your rent, nothing. at all. And you're just like, fuck.
Like it's 1997 still.
That made me fucking livid. But second part to that question is, and you guys already have talked about asking for a manager, but who is more likely to ask for a manager, you or your significant other? For me, it's probably me, and I'm still like, I will blow up at that fucking person before I ask for, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I try not to do that at all. But I will still have to say me, because my girl is so passive that when they say, hey, this is what you're facing, she's just gonna be like, in her head, she'll be like, fuck, and then she'll just eat it and not ask for a manager, none of that shit. She's just like, oh, this pissed me off today. What'd you do? Nothing. Like, I have to figure this out. And it's like, no, you didn't ask to, like, speak. She got charged. I remember she got charged like over $100 that just came out of her account. And I was the one who told her. I was like, she's like, can you figure out, like, I just got a random charge from, Apple. Like, can you figure out what this is? Obviously, I went straight to it. Saw it was a subscription, X amount of dollars. Yeah. It was over $150 or something, or $200. Right, for Rosetta. Right. It was like $200 for Rosetta Stone. She was obviously not expecting that, and it was a year. I was like, yo, why don't? In those cases, she would just eat that. She wouldn't even call. Yeah, she would just eat it and be like, fuck. Like, damn, that sucks. I didn't expect that. I was like, can you call them up and see if they can remove that from your account? I
probably wouldn't have called either.
Yeah. Well, she called and they refunded it to her. So,
that's awesome.
Which is great.
I wish I would think about shit like that. I would have just been like, fuck, now I got to figure out a reason to use Rosetta Stone for the next year.
But I'm just saying, like, she wouldn't even, like, it takes effort for her to call in general, unless it's something that requires a phone call. Yeah. She probably won't even call, let alone ask for a manager if she's getting shitty service. Yeah. She'd probably just eat it and then move on and be upset about it and tell me about it, like vent to me, but not actually interact with the person. So it would definitely be me.
Yeah, that's totally
it would definitely be Ash. 100%.
I can see that.
I ate that Instacart charge that I told you about, where they got me for a year. I was just like, I'll use Instacart more. Like Johnny said, like, I just I'll make sure they get my money's worth out of it. But yeah, no, I'm very, like I said, I'm non-confrontational. Like, I don't even want to call, let alone ask for a manager like I did. Like, that's not, I really don't care. Like, if my steak is like more undercooked or more well done, like, just be like, all right, I guess I'll just eat it like this. And she'll be like, no.
You will not.
She'll like point at it and be like, oh, fuck. Okay, I guess I'm getting a new steak now.
No, my girl would do that, but she'll be like super nice about it, though.
No, she's nice. She's nice about it, but I'm just still like, I kind of sink down a little. Like, that's not my style.
I'm the same way, though.
And she has no hesitation, and she's not embarrassed about it. And like, it's hooked us up more often than not. It's just not how I go about things. When it comes to food,
I'm like that. Like, if it's not exactly how, I just be like, I'll just eat it like that. Like, if it's not gonna kill me,
right? It's like undercooked chicken or something. Like, I'll just eat this raw chicken. I'm a little piece of shit. I'll just
if it's some shit like that, then I'll be like, yo, can you?
Not trying to die today, bro. Like, yo, I got some hash browns from Dunkin' Donuts, dude. They were cold. They just took them out of the freezer. They didn't cook them. They just put them in the motherfucking bag. So because they're hash browns, when they're good, they're crispy and their shits are delicious as hell, dude. I pop in. I'm trying to sneak some before we get back. It literally ice cold. And like Ash is like, she pulls in, she parks, and she goes inside with the hash browns.
Hey, what were you? You weren't gonna say nothing?
I mean, no, I was gonna let her go in because I knew that she was about to. She wasn't having any of that, dude. She goes in and she comes out and she gives them back to me, and I bite one. I'm like, oh, like I'm blowing them off because them shits are fucking crispy as hell, dude. They're hot as a bitch, dude. And the chick, she handed them to the chick. She's like, yeah, you guys, I don't think you cooked these. And she's like, oh shit, you didn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's all you really can say at that point. But yeah, no, she's Honestly, I probably would have just driven
could
off.
just see.
And I would have got home and
It
put him in the
depends
air
where
fryer.
I find out.
Yeah.
If I was like just pulling out the drive-through, almost,
That's fact.
and I reach in and I'll be like, fuck, I got. But if I'm already in the street, if I was out of the parking lot, and I'm already in the street, I think I would have been like, fuck. And just
my
kept
girl
driving.
would do that though. You just brought that. You brought up a good point. My girl would do that. She would get home, like she orders from Panera a lot. It's like I've never eaten Panera more in my life. And if they forget a sandwich or something like that, she will call and be like, so I ordered the family blah blah blah, and I ordered this sandwich. It didn't come in. Like, and she will say that. She'd be super nice about it, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, so what's your name?" And then they'll take it down, and they'll say, "Next time you're in, just give the information, and we'll give you a free sandwich, free meal, or some shit like that."
And they do.
So yeah, and they honor it. Yeah, I mean,
So that's
I've done that
definitely some shit I would never do. Even if I knew that I had a credit, I probably wouldn't be like, yeah, my name is Johnny.
Yo, you know what I did though?
Like 3 weeks ago about
I did do that. I did it. I did it at Starbucks because I went somewhere, their line, like literally it was a Starbucks that was, I think it was during the pandemic. The line was ridiculous. And I want to say it was like when they just started, like you go inside and it's just like packed or something. I don't know. This doesn't sound very pandemic like, but it's like I think when they started opening it,
the major of the pandemic.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, when they started letting people more like inside again. I don't know. It was like way packed. I called them up. I'm like, hey, listen, I am in this line. I paid for this. I paid for this coffee and everything from the app. Yeah, I pre-ordered it, but I am not able to get it because there's literally no parking in your parking lot for me to go inside, and the line is like so far out that it's in the middle of the street. So they gave me a credit. I'm like, is there any way that you can get me that credit at the other location out in Victor? They're like, I'm not sure, whatever. So they gave me the credit for that store out in Greece. Like, cool. I was like, you know what? Let me call Victor. I called Victor and I'm like, hey, so I ordered a coffee and a sandwich at this location. Is there any way that you can honor it on your end? Oh yeah, if you come in and show that you ordered it, we'll honor it. So then they honored it. They gave me a free sandwich and a coffee. Oh, they gave me a sandwich and a coffee there. So then I still had the other one.
You had the credit
under my name for the credit. So you know what I did the very next day? I went right over there and got that credit. So that was the only time that I ever did that.
I would never do all that. That's way too much, dude.
Yo, Starbucks is pretty fucking expensive, man.
Duncan forgot my hash browns.
That's probably
just driven off.
I think the first part of that step where you like called and was like, I can't get to it. I don't even think I would have done that. I
you
think
just
I
drove
might
off
have been
and
like,
ate it.
fuck, why did I order here?
He puts it all on him. It's always Johnny's
And then I would
fault.
have tried to figure out through the app if there was any way to cancel it, refund it, move it. And if I couldn't figure it out through the app, then I would have ate it and I would have just gone hungry for the next hour.
Yeah.
So who do you think would be the first to call a manager? Would be you or Joyce?
Joyce for sure.
Joyce, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. Just because I don't. Not that she does often, but she does it at the right moments. And, she's definitely one that's all about, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right.
And so.
Yeah, that sounds like Ash, dude. That's like, you never know if they could what's the worst happen? They say no, okay. Like, that's her thing. And I'm like, you know what?
I was like, I wish it was like you.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But I don't
like. Now he goes to Dunkin' Donuts and he goes, my hash browns are cold.
Babe. No, one time I was by myself one time and I got a bagel and some hash browns, dude. And like as soon as I drive away from the window, I stick my hand in the bag. No hash browns. I just whip out of the parking lot, go home. Dude. It's like, oh well, I ate some hash browns. Fuck them.
See, if I was in the parking lot, I'd pull in.
No,
But once I hit the street, then it's like, I've gone too far.
I either have to go inside.
Right.
I either have to
I feel
go
you.
inside like in pajamas, or I have to wait again in that long ass drive-through line, and it's just not worth it.
No, I'm definitely never doing the drive-through
I want to
again.
drink
You gotta
my
go
coffee.
outside.
Why would you go? Yeah, you got to
You
go
gotta
inside
go
at
inside.
that
I've seen.
point.
That's why I don't, because I don't want to go. I don't want to get out of the. If I wanted to go inside, I just would have went and picked up the food inside the fucking restaurant. If I wanted
Yeah.
to go inside,
I did that today. Actually, I went to KFC. I tried to wanted some tenders for some reason, right? And I pull up on my lunch break. I pull up to KFC. I'm like, instantly, as soon as I pull up, they have like the recording. Would you like to buy a coupon? Whatever. As soon as that finishes, she's like, the girl's like, you have to come inside. The drive-through is down right now. I was like, all right, thank you. Whoop. Kept going. It's just like, fuck that.
Yeah, agreed.
Nah.
I would have done the same.
I was like, I guess
I
I'm
don't
going
like
to.
KFC that bad. What else is
I
around
guess
here?
I'm going to Burger King right across the street. Literally. It was
see, I
great.
might have gone in. I really love KFC.
I love KFC
might
too.
have
Like
gone-
I really
if it was
wanted
like
it too.
dinner time, and I was stoked on it, dude. I might have been like, all right, I'll go.
You know
inside.
how you build it up in your head too. Like you can taste the
taste it.
tenders
Right
with the
now,
mashed
just
potatoes
talking
and
about it.
everything.
You know,
like,
I don't
you
eat
can taste
before
that.
I come here. Don't do that.
Like you build it up
Trying to
and
think if it
instantly.
was Popeyes. 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
know if it was
chicken
Popeyes.
sandwiches, some chicken
Oh,
sandwiches.
you really
in there.
want to go inside of a Popeyes?
That's what I'm
Fuck
saying.
no. No. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
going inside. No, I'm not going
I
inside
don't
of
even
a
want to go through the
Popeyes.
drive-through,
It
but I
depends
do.
on the Popeyes.
Yeah.
Panorama Trail.
We've had this
You act
discussion.
like
Every
KFC
single-
is that much nicer than
Yeah,
Popeyes,
no,
bro. They
yeah.
both the same class of workers, same quality of fucking restaurant, the same dirty ass shit, the same greasy ass smell. It's exactly
No,
the
hold
same.
on. Hold on. I'm just telling you that I didn't go into KFC either. So what the
Exactly.
fuck is making Popeyes better? And
It's
every
better
Popeyes
chicken.
yeah, it is better chicken. Yeah. But I haven't I've never been to a like I said, Popeyes. Like you can go I think you can go into a KFC and it's like a civilized KFC. It's more you have
As long as it's newer, like the newer the KFC, it's still nice. It still has a chance to not be a shithole. But like if it's old, dude, you're fucking
you're fucked.
sticking to the
Everybody-
floor. It's gross. You just want to get your chicken, not look at anybody, and get the fuck out of there.
everyone that works there is just like straight up like
Pissed off, dude. They're
Pissed
mad
off.
at you in particular.
Yeah.
They're like specifically you. Fuck you for
I told
coming
you
here.
that
That's how I
recently,
feel
right?
when
I
they
went
go.
there and they were just like, yeah, hey, we don't have any original. It's like, okay. Everything that I wanted that day, I was just like, all right, let me get a original chicken. Let me get a lemonade. Yeah, we don't have any original. We only have crispy. Oh yeah, and the lemonade machine is down. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Same one that I just drove off on.
Why you
'cause
keep
it's-
going back there? That's a trash ass
it's right next to
KFC.
it's right next to the studio, and that's the only KFC in the area. What do you want me to
Go to
say?
Burger King, get a chicken sandwich.
That's where I went.
Ooh,
I know.
no,
I
don't
didn't
do
get the
that.
chicken though. I didn't get the
Don't
Gotta
do
chicken
get
that.
the
though.
chicken.
I just got a Whopper. I'm pretty simple when it comes to
Oh,
Burger
Whopper.
King. I fuck
Good
with
old Whopper.
Whoppers.
Word. I love
Yeah.
a Whopper. I
Yeah.
ordered an original chicken sandwich the other day at Burger King, just to thinking
Like
that
the,
like
like the oval.
the
like
I did
long
too,
one,
yo.
yeah.
I did too, yo. I did too.
I did it for like nostalgic reasons. I was like, man, I remember loving these shits. They were so good.
Mhm. The chopped
Yeah.
lettuce
And
on it.
nah, no, that shit was not good.
Just dry
It was
as a
definitely
bitch,
not
dude.
good.
Nah, see, to me, it was because it's exactly what I
That's-
remember.
that's exactly how
Like,
it was when I would eat it.
Yeah, you see,
and it was
for me,
never
I remembered
juicy
it
and-
being so much better.
Yo, see, I remember always because we already like we don't bring up shit like that. We don't go in, blah blah blah. My dad, when I hear the original chicken sandwich story, he would always say it has to be like order, especially when I'm picking up the order for him.
Yeah.
Order me an original chicken sandwich with cheese. Tell them to cut it in half.
What? That's a thing that they would do?
Yes.
Why though? Would he only eat
How?
half of it?
I don't know.
Like this
They got
thing,
knives
Yeah,
at fucking Burger King? Like, what did they
sure
use
they-
a
I'm
knife
sure they
for?
something.
I'm sure they do. But
That's
he
wild.
specifically, that chicken sandwich, make sure that they cut it in half. And you know my dad. If that shit wasn't cut in half by the time I got to him, or if we were in he would be like
Send it
super
back.
pissed. I don't
That's
think he would
wild.
go inside for cutting it in half and
Okay.
shit, but he would be pissed. My dad is he's
Just get a knife and cut it, dog. Like when you get it, like it's not that hard to just go. Like I would just have my own knife
said-
ready. Like,
and-
nope, cut my chicken sandwich.
and you can't have that discussion with my dad because he just be like,
Right.
I'm like, but why? And he's just gonna be like, because it tastes better. It's like, all right,
They got to cut it as soon as it's made.
yeah, it tastes better. That paper it seeps into the sandwich because they cut it with the wrapper.
And you know, that's what I forgot to do was to get it with cheese, because I remember that was the trick to making
Yeah.
sure that you got a fresh original chicken sandwich, because they don't typically come with cheese.
They don't. They don't.
Or they just throw a piece of cold cheese on there and it's not even melted because that's just been sitting.
I mean,
under
I guess
the
it
lamp.
could happen.
Nah,
Slap
what
it on
Burger
there.
King are you going to, bro? Original chicken sandwich, you'll bite into it and then you can still feel that hot grease. Like,
See, that's when I like it, but that's not what I got this time. I got an old, cold original chicken
oh
sandwich.
yeah,
and
that
it was,
that place
that
fucked you
sucks,
over.
dude.
Yeah, it was.
Try-
you know,
try
it was
it-
like
try a different one. Try a
Burger
different
King
one.
on like the side of the road between here.
Yeah,
and
try a
fucking
different one
the
because
Lake House.
every time I come to the point where I want that nostalgia and I ask for that sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I
get
was
that
looking
same
for, was
little
that
grease.
Looking
Wait,
for that
it wasn't
juicy chicken sandwich dripping
Right.
nastiness.
It wasn't a throughway rest stop Burger King, was it?
No, like that.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere on Route 17.
Okay,
Mm.
that's better.
All right, guys, let's get into some conversations now. Right, so last week we talked about OnlyFans putting a ban on pornography, and we talked. We said it like you're literally going to shoot yourself in the foot by banning the only thing that made you money,
Right.
like that made you famous for this. And what happened, like within a day or two of our episode dropping?
It was like
Mostly
the next
because
day.
we
It was
said
like
it.
the next day, yeah. And and they were just
They
like,
heard
"Hey,
us.
you know what? We're not doing it." They did I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Yep.
I'm not leaving. Wolf of Wall Street stance.
Yeah.
And they said no, and then they try to make it seem like we're for the people. It's like, motherfucker, you just heard the backlash
Yo.
Yeah.
of everyone talking mega shit and wanting to get it, because a lot of people, I think we were talking about it, right? And someone said that that they were their sponsors or they just knew
Investors.
that it wasn't. Yeah, they're investors. They're still having issues with investors, but they just knew that everyone was getting away from them.
They did claim some shit. I don't know. Some people are still claiming bullshit on their excuse. They did give some examples of the banks that were declining their transactions. So BNY Mellon was one of them. JP Morgan Chase was one of them, where they straight up would like try to send, creator made $1,200 this week or some shit. They send the
Yeah.
payment to the creator, and because they banked with JP Morgan Chase, and JP Morgan Chase would be like, nah, decline. We don't accept money from OnlyFans because we don't know where that money
Yeah.
came from, type shit.
Damn.
So apparently the
So it's gotta
reason
be
they said they're
crazy.
going to keep it is that the banks, because they got called out. So this was in between the time that we posted our show, or the time we recorded our show, and the time that they changed their mind. They had made like a couple press release statements where they gave these examples of like, yo, this is how they've, we've been fucked over by the banks. And then, the banks were, now had bad press. So they probably were like, oh, no, it's not us. We're totally, we'll give you assurances that this shit will go through. And so they were like, well, the banks told us that they'll let it rock, so we're gonna keep rocking.
All right.
But yeah,
And they said
everybody
that it was,
saw that it was going to be a loss of money because,
Oh yeah.
I mean, the
yeah.
banks make money when you send money through them. Like, all of that is fucking money-making loss if you kill this illicit form of money raising.
And it's not even like it was like cocaine money either.
I
Like,
know.
I mean, it's,
No, it's fucking sex work.
It's a
Come on.
legal transaction.
So
dude. Come on.
what banks does Pornhub go through?
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, these other sites,
Well,
dude. What are they?
No,
Because
but
there's
it's
so
not
many.
about accepting the payment. It's about paying out the creators. That's what the problem was. Pornhub doesn't pay out anyone, do they?
I mean, they have like Pornhub Live and shit like
they
that.
They have their own movie selling service, like OnlyFans style, dude. I assume
They
that
have
would
subscriptions, and they do have like live things that are, I would assume that are because those live things, like those people post up videos and shit that people
But
can
maybe
purchase.
they're employees of Pornhub, so they're collecting a payroll check.
Could be.
okay.
It could be, but I think it all depends on if people purchase the videos. So like if they have videos up for sale that they've done, same thing, OnlyFans style,
Yeah.
available on Pornhub, and and those people pay for it. I guess it could go through
Yeah.
like a payroll.
I don't know. Like I said, that's why
yeah, I don't
people are calling bullshit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it was. They're like, oh no, we're good now.
So the official OnlyFans tweet that was released was, "Thank you to everyone for making your voices heard. We have secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community and have suspended the planned October 1st policy change. OnlyFans stands for inclusion, and we will continue to provide a home for all creators." So
Suspended.
so it's suspended. So at any point they could really
Reinstate it.
activate it again, or just reinstate it and then say, hey,
Could be
so
them just covering their own ass. Like, it doesn't
I mean,
necessarily mean
it could
it's
really
coming.
be if they don't have those assurances again, right? Once the press,
Yeah.
Dies
blows
down
over,
again,
and then they're just like, yeah, you remember that whole shit? Yeah, no, we're not fucking with you still. Then they're in square one, and they're probably gonna have to do that. But yeah, I mean, I call bullshit too.
They would be stupid.
I think they want to be. I think they want to be worth way more than they currently are, and they can see that by getting in their minds with their projections. They can see that by dropping the sexual stuff. But in the end, the only reason why you are famous is for the sexual stuff and for those creatives. So those creatives that chose your platform to to release their content.
Right.
And if you're not honoring them and you're not giving them any kind of security, there are other companies that are
That will.
100% invested that will give them that security, and then they're just going to pull from you.
Yeah.
They're going to pull away. So,
Insensitive culture, maybe. Maybe you post them up on our website.
yeah,
There you
Take a
go.
little.
there's nothing more insensitive than porn. So.
We get a free download though. That's
Yeah.
all we want.
We just
Free
want
subs
we just
to
want
all of our
Free
workers.
free subs.
Yeah.
We get free.
we
subs.
get free subs from all of our workers.
The rest is
That'd be
yours,
nice.
ladies. The rest is yours.
All of our members,
All right.
they're not our workers.
Yeah, our members. Yeah, that's true, that's
whoa.
true. Did I say our workers?
The insensitive
Yeah, we're not
pimps
doing
over
that.
here.
We're not doing that. All right. So in other news, the baby of the popular Nirvana album Nevermind is now obviously a grown ass man, and he is now suing the estate of Kurt Cobain for sexual exploitation of a minor. So it's like how more obvious can you be for just trying to go for that bag?
Yeah.
Clearly, his parents signed some sort of a release to put his little dick on that CD for.
Yeah.
I think
all
he's
those
claiming that
years.
they didn't. That's what the claim is, that they didn't. But
That
come
seems
on.
a little frivolous to me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't his parents have sued like years ago?
something.
Maybe.
Yeah. Why
Like,
is his
why
dick still
would
the
it wait
same
till this
size?
kid's like
That's what I
30
wonder.
years old or some shit?
Why is his dick the same size?
That's why he's heated.
So first of all, it is kind of weird. It's like, how did this even come about for them to like take this picture? But that album has been out for
like
since
30
the 90s.
years. I think it was 92
so like
or some shit that album came out.
Yeah, it's like
94,
like
early 90s for sure.
Word. And it's like, all right, so yeah, it's unfortunate, homie. Like you grew up with a baby dick on an album cover. You
91.
obviously were proud of it. 91.
Damn.
You were obviously proud of it for a while because he recreated the pool image as an adult.
That's what I was gonna say.
Not with his dick out. He had shorts on. He had shorts on. But he recreated the shit.
He recreated
which means
the
that
image. He has Nevermind tattooed across his chest. Fuck out of here, bro.
Right.
Yeah, and now you want to say, oh, well, they were, showing my dick off to everybody. We're owed millions of dollars.
Yeah. It
Fuck
could
outta here.
also be like some lawyer that got into his head and was like, hey,
yeah,
you could probably get money off of this. Even if you don't
He looks
win.
like a fucking drug addict.
Looks like he has a baby dick.
Maybe they settle.
What's his name?
Baby Dick from Nirvana.
Baby Dick.
His name is just Baby Dick.
Baby Dick, yeah.
Baby Dick.
Is that the episode title?
Spencer Eldon.
Probably not.
That's his name.
Yeah, Spencer Eldon. He's 30 now. So,
that's what happened. He hit 30, realized he's done nothing with his life.
Yeah,
he's
like,
like,
I gotta
can
catch
I
in on this baby dick.
catch in
Yeah.
on this fucking
Spencer
thing
Eldon.
I have?
It says Spencer Eldon said Nirvana and the estate of Kurt Cobain trafficked his image as a naked baby and is claiming $2.5 million in damages for being exploited as a minor. So Eldon and his parents never gave their release in writing for the photos and were not paid.
Never gave their... So what did they get? They just gave a verbal, yeah, sure, you can use our son's baby dick.
First of all, what puts you in a position to take a picture with your dick out in a pool?
Underwater. Who's putting their baby underwater? That's just weird.
Right?
So
you randomly toss your baby
I never
underwater
thought that was
in a
real
pool.
Photo, honestly.
I always thought it was. I just assumed he just had like baby powers.
But here's my question.
How is this baby holding his breath underwater for so long?
I think babies can do that.
Babies can swim,
Babies
yeah.
can swim.
They can if they're taught.
Not like Michael Phelps do. They're not going to win any medals, but like they can totally
they can
drown underwater.
Absolutely do it. I've seen the baby training videos of teaching them how to flip over and hold their breath and shit like that. But I didn't think back. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it was, but I never heard of it back in the 90s. So
sure.
Back then, I just assumed it was like some staged photo.
Yeah, and here's my question is, okay, so so you just randomly tossed your baby in a pool naked to cool off, right? And there just happened to be a photographer underwater taking random pictures where no one else is in the pool.
Right. No.
So
we don't know that it's a real picture either. It could be.
I'm just saying, like, my whole point by saying that is obviously the parents were in on this photo.
100%.
Being
like
taken.
They didn't just show up and snatch the kid and then like take him somewhere and take these
Right.
Nirvana pictures. Like they were there 100% of the time. They had to have been. Are they still alive? Can we talk to them?
They were probably taken for something else. Somehow, somebody seen the photo and was like, hey. Yo, I would like to use that. And they were like, go for it.
Verbally, though.
Yeah.
Not in writing, apparently.
People are, I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, they're just trying to make some money. But whatever.
Baby dick.
All right, so
Baby dick.
So we all got a chance to watch that Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight. And I'm telling you right now, I hate to say it, but Jake Paul looked good that night as far as being a boxer. He looks like he's practicing. He was actually doing the smart work that a boxer would. Tyron Woodley, in my opinion, didn't do enough. Still very amateur, of course. Yes, I would say that. But he's again.
I don't think he's.
I'm just saying.
I mean, outside of his entertainment factor, and
he's
and
not worth the
people
money
that
for
he
it.
brings, and then that's what makes him worth. From a boxing perspective, like you're not getting a show like you would expect from a trained boxer that's been training for years. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely just still a fucking rookie, and the only reason, I mean, he definitely beat.
I'm
Tyron
just saying
Woodley.
he looked better.
He looked way better than any other fight. Tyron Woodley was a much better fighter than he's ever fought, but he's also still like 4 inches shorter than him or some shit.
See, so the whole thing with that whole fight, I don't care how like my issues with that fight was the fact that Tyron Woodley is a UFC fighter, right?
So he's on top of that, he's not a boxer.
Right. He's not a boxer, so what he was not counting on was the cards, right? So in boxing, we know every punch thrown and landed counts in the end. Yeah. So like a UFC fighter's mentality, to know
that too. It's not like he picked up this fight last
I understand
night.
that, right. But I understand that. What I'm saying is that being a UFC fighter, he's used to being a UFC fighter, right? So when instincts kick in, his trainer was telling him the whole time, like, "Yo, you are not listening to me. You have to do X, Y, and Z." But once he's in the mix and he's fighting, his mentality is, I'm trying to knock him out, and the entire time, right, he's trying to get that opening to knock him out, but he's not throwing a damn thing. Yeah. He's not throwing a damn thing, while Jake Paul is coming in and he's throwing something, he's connecting here and there. Yeah, when it came down to the cards,
getting those points,
so he was just racking up those points. He caught him that one time. I was hoping that.
I thought that was it.
He stunned him with that. Right there. He stunned him with that. But I'm only saying I'm not bigging Jake Paul up to be like, yo, I'm giving him his props, blah blah blah. No. I'm just saying he looked better that day. This is why he lost. This is why he lost is because Tyron Woodley just didn't really have the boxing rules sunk in. You know what I mean? So by instinct, mentality. He didn't. He had the UFC mentality. Yeah. Which is, I'm trying to knock this dude out, and I need the perfect hit for it. Mm-hmm. So, and that shit is not going to win a boxing match, especially if you don't connect that hit.
If you don't get that hit, it ain't.
Yeah, if you don't get that hit, then in those 8 rounds, you're done. Now,
and they fight for way longer too. Like UFC matches are shorter and fewer rounds, right?
3-minute rounds.
Four rounds, I want to say, or something like that, right?
The one usually when I watch UFC, like the main card, those usually go 5 rounds.
Oh, 5 rounds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but either way,
round
Jake
8,
Paul,
he's got to be beat.
No, but Jake Paul has only boxed two rounds. That was the longest fight that he's ever had.
True. No, 3. He's 3 rounds. This
3 rounds. Yep. 3 rounds. Yep. So that was the longest fight he ever had. He looked winded. They
were both very
tired.
winded.
Yeah,
they were both. By the end of the fight, I was waiting for one of them to hit the ground just because of how tired they both looked.
One thing I did like about this fight too is that they did the Showtime pay-per-view was a much better event than
the Triller
Triller bullshit where it's mainly concerts. It's really hard to really take that seriously.
Pete Davidson backstage.
Mm-hmm. Both of them signed was it just Jake Paul or was it both Logan and Jake Paul that signed the Showtime deal?
I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, because I know that they signed a deal for like multiple fights. Like these motherfuckers signed a deal like if they were big time boxers.
Damn.
But they fucking, I'm sure, sold the shit ton of pay-per-view. And
I'm sure they did. He said he made
sold out the fucking arena.
So afterward, he was obviously, in Jake Paul fashion. He was just like sitting here after making 10% of $1 billion or something. Like, I'm 10% closer to being a billionaire or some dumb shit like that.
Oh, goodness.
So he definitely made bank, man. And a lot of people are saying that, all that shit is fucking rigged, which we all have our.
I mean, they've been saying that about boxing for years.
That, boxing is. Yeah. But either way, I mean, it was actually a somewhat entertaining fight. It was frustrating because everyone wanted Tyron Woodley to beat his ass, and he just wasn't throwing shit. He wasn't throwing shit, so the numbers were like
that first
way off.
round, they barely even moved. They were just circling, dancing around the ring, sizing each other up, but barely throwing a single thing. That first round was whack as fuck. I was waiting for the crowd to start booing, and then Jake Paul finally started throwing some blows in the second, third round.
They made so much money because even I saw a post of The Rock with his Terramana watching the fight. He's just like, salute, gentlemen. I'm just like,
everybody. I mean, it's
they made so much
Sunday.
money, man.
What are you doing on Sunday night?
Nothing.
Nothing,
man.
There's no boxing matches. There's no other live events, really. Dave Chappelle was in the audience. Like,
yeah, he was. Yeah,
I saw that.
It's the thing to do.
Twitter loved that.
What's up, Dave? You want to start an IC boxing match? Box you. Let's do it.
To think that this whole shit for them started over some YouTube beef with another YouTuber.
Right.
Yeah.
And now these dudes are out here making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Was this the fight? Did Supreme Patty fight Dan Rue? Was that this fight, or was that something else?
No. Those are
some other whack ass fights.
Those are other
people trying.
Yeah. No, there's like a Barstool. There's Barstool events because once this started, Barstool of course has to, create some similar shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're having YouTubers fight each other. They're having like. And it doesn't even stop at YouTubers. They have crackheads and shit. No, they have crackheads fighting each other. Because like if you follow Barstool, like they'll have they'll have almost it's almost like bum fights, but it's not taking advantage of bums. These are just like
taking advantage of
these
crackheads.
are just pretty much. Like they don't look like they're bums. They just look like they're like very skinny ass dudes who don't have any sense, like rednecks and like what I mean. So it's not necessarily like it's bums.
Somebody in The Rock that does this. Somebody in Rochester,
I'm sure,
has this parking lot fights that they post on YouTube and Facebook. I can't remember the name. Man. I wish I could fucking remember, but it's like everyday regular people, and they just pay them to fight in the parking lot, and people usually get knocked out, and they post the shit on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook.
That's what Kimbo Slice used to do.
Yeah.
You're just basically going around in backyard fights, just knocking people out.
It's funny you say that. I watched Kimbo Loss recently.
Yeah,
crazy ass fight with some.
Well, it was because he's winning
25
in the hood
minutes long, dude,
against random ass people. So of course he's a beast when it comes to that. But once he was fighting actual fighters like UFC fighters and shit like that,
it was the most insane. They both had eggs all over their food. They both just collapsed to the ground afterwards and definitely both needed medical attention after that. It was the most just physically draining thing I've ever seen, dude. And like to watch, that was the first time I saw Kimbo like lose. So I remember watching it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, I don't know, maybe like a week or two ago, randomly, just some YouTube hole that I was in. I was like, I want to see Kimbo where he lost that one time, because it was a brutal fight, dude. I couldn't imagine. I could no. Nah, not for me.
Nah, definitely not getting into like no UFC fights. I'm not getting into any of that type of shit. I'm too old for that shit anyway, man. I'm not trying to be out here fighting nobody.
Kimbo looked old as hell. I don't know how old he was, but he always looked old as a bitch.
He always looked old, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a fighter. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. When you're a fighter, you're a fighter. Man, I'm just saying, I'm not a fighter. I've never been a fighter, and I'm not gonna start at in my late 30s.
You should hit up that parking lot Johnny was talking about. Just try it out.
See what you got. See what you got. Make a couple dollars.
All right, so on Sunday, randomly, to everyone's surprise, Kanye's album Donda dropped.
Oh, that's right.
And obviously, like always, like with every fucking thing, it's mixed reviews. Most people are saying, "Yo, this album is fire," but it does have some Jesus inspired songs, like a few of them. But I thought that it sounded more like an actual like regular Kanye album than, you know, like Jesus is King. Obviously it's not like his earlier work or anything like that, but it was fire. It had a bunch of a lot of features on it, whatnot, whatever. So, you know, whether people enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it, that's really up to the person. I enjoyed it personally. I know y'all weren't really fans too much, right?
I listened a little bit. It was all right.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't.
It just
like,
felt
oh shit,
too
it's
like
old Kanye.
Nah, it just felt too melancholy to me, and not in a 808s way. It was just like, I don't know. It felt
In a
almost,
Dave season 2 kind of way.
Yeah, it was just very like depressing, very almost like a funeral. Like it was just
He's going through some shit, man. He's not having a great time, dude.
It's called Donda.
I know.
After his mother who passed.
His past mother. Agreed. So and maybe that's why. But the vibe, I don't know. It's just it definitely wasn't anything that I could, outside of like background music, like I could listen to it while I'm doing some other shit.
Right.
But I can't. I'm not gonna ride in the car and bump this album.
Well, either way, we don't really get into music and stuff like that. But I just thought it was interesting, all of the stuff that's going around about it now. So like after all this time of him saying, you know, giving release dates, then pushing it back like the day before.
Yeah.
Or some bullshit, doing these stupid ass concerts where essentially it's kind of genius because essentially he was going on a small tour for an album that hadn't dropped yet, and people are just like buying the shit out.
Yeah.
Stadium tours at that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of genius. But so he was doing that, and now after it dropped, everybody was super happy. Then he releases a statement saying that Universal dropped his album without his permission. And yeah, and they left off like the baby. They blocked
Marilyn Manson,
Jail 2 from dropping the baby song, which he promised was gonna be on the album regardless of how anyone felt about the baby. And so there was a lot of stuff with that. And then Soulja Boy just came out, started talking shit too, saying that he listened to the album. Kanye left his verse off of the song that he was on, which, in my opinion, is probably better that way.
Right.
But I did like the joke because somebody was like, "Yeah, Soulja Boy is the first rapper to get thrown off of the Donda album," because that's like the running joke with Soulja Boy. He's the first rapper to do everything. That's like his gimmick. Yeah, he puts out videos all the time. I'm the first rapper to do this, do that, blah blah blah. So. And then I honestly, I can't remember. I remember hearing that Chris Brown was also on the album, but I don't remember hearing Chris Brown on the album. I don't know if he was left off, honestly.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know what
but
happened.
he also.
I know it was in the quote unquote official credits, but I don't remember hearing him either. And I do know that he wrote like a story or some shit where he was like, Kanye's a whole hoe or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Kanye's a whole hoe.
Yeah.
So now Kanye's out here saying that it's because Universal dropped his album without asking him.
So there's like a director's cut and there's the Warner Brothers cut,
release
the Universal
cut.
Oh, we're gonna get
release the Kanye cut. Oh, hashtag
we're
right
gonna
now.
get
episode title.
We're gonna get a full
episode title.
We're gonna get a whole full mental breakdown.
His mouth to type that down. He's like, really
look like Gomez Adam when he was like typing with the cigarette in his mouth.
I was like Hunter S. Thompson. He looked like Hunter S. Thompson with it in his teeth.
All right. So that, I mean, we, like I said, we ain't really got to get too much on that, but let's get into some Hollywood. Hollywood. Let's get into some Hollywood talk. So, so let me see here. There's been a few things coming out lately, for sure. So right now, in Black Panther news, Letitia Wright, who played his sister Shuri, is it Shuri?
Shuri, I think.
Yeah. So she was hospitalized. There was a stunt accident, and she was taken away to the hospital. She's currently recovering, and expected to be released soon. But
this was during the filming of Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, it was during the filming of Wakanda Forever.
Shit.
Did it say what happened?
It doesn't. I don't think. I mean, it's not gonna get into this. Like, yeah, she was performing this very
in this scene where
in
she
this
just.
scene.
That's just like like a broken leg, a broken arm, shoulder, back.
In the scene where she's jumping off of Doctor Strange's cape.
Right. They spoil the whole shit.
No, it says she was hospitalized with minor injuries following a stunt rig accident on the Boston set of Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Boston.
Yep, it's in Boston. Yep.
Someone's at MIT, I read.
Oh, is that what
I don't remember.
Is?
That was, there's part of that story. There's part of that Black Panther 2 movie takes place at MIT, so that's probably why they're in Boston.
Interesting. Okay.
MIT is pretty prevalent in MCU.
Yeah. So I'm like it doesn't give any more details than what we just discussed, but get better soon. That's just what we have right now. She's the one thing that I would say is, like, if she got injured doing a stunt, could be a little implication there. I mean, she had some fight scenes in Endgame, but it wasn't in Black Panther. She didn't really get in any action, right?
Not really. No, she was behind
Nothing
the wheel.
crazy.
Wasn't she driving the
nothing crazy
fake car? She was in the arcade.
Yeah,
not really.
So now
doing
she's
much.
getting into some stunts. So we don't know if it's just like another situation where it's all hands on deck and everybody gets into some shit. But
right,
or if it's the rumors are correct that she is taking up the mantle as Black Panther.
So she got by her little anti-vax Twitter excursion. We've all forgotten about that now. We're just wishing her well now.
When people I completely forget. I didn't think about that at all.
I thought maybe they stuck her with a vax while she was in the hospital. They're like, take that, bitch. You don't want that shit.
While she was knocked out, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, you're vaccinated.
You're vaccinated, yeah.
You're vaccinated now. But either way, man, I don't, regardless of whether I agree or disagree with their views, man, I don't want anybody hurt. So
no, I want that production to keep rolling.
Well, it didn't. It definitely said that it didn't halt production. So
good.
Production is still moving.
Good. All right.
So that's good.
Yeah, I don't know, because we do know that Riri Williams is now is confirmed, so which means it's probably going to be Ironheart. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and make Ironheart related to Wakanda and maybe Ironheart Black Panther mix. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. Well, while you're at it, yeah, that's another one. Riri Williams is set to debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because we know that Ironheart is a series, right? That's going to be a series?
I believe so.
So it's kind of cool that the series are actually mixing in with the movies, man. Because we're not expecting Ironheart until probably at least a couple years, right? They recently casted her in the Ironheart series. Let's see. Yep, she gets herself at 15 years old. She gets herself accepted at MIT. So it's a whole Ironheart thing. So that's who's at MIT.
Gotcha.
Yep. So she's the teenage engineering genius who designs her own version of the Iron Man suit. Following her father's death, she lives with her mother and aunt in Chicago. At 15 years old, she gets herself accepted into MIT.
There's no
It is there that she builds her own version of an Iron Man style suit. So that's that is the MIT student that you were talking about.
That's the MIT connection.
So yep, that's the MIT connection, and she is set to debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. which Black Panther we will see in right now it's set to hit theaters July 8th, 2022, which time has been flying. It seems like a long time.
What was it, July?
Yeah, it's less than a year.
Yeah. It's gonna be Christmas like next week. So
That's what it
get
feels
ready
like,
for
right?
that shit, dude. Like this shit has been flying, dude.
It has been flying. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with Ironheart. It seems like a really dope character. We are casuals here at Insensitive Causal. Yeah, we're casuals,
Mad
right?
Mad
where we don't know the ins and outs of these comic books. We're just like,
we're ignorant.
We're just your normal casual viewers of these things. So and we enjoy it that way anyway. I don't need to sit there and research all these comics.
I love it that way.
Day. Yeah, I love it that way. I love finding out other stories, just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Awesome.
Like
that really makes it a little bit better.
I could dive into it if I wanted to. Like it's there.
But will you?
No.
I've tried.
Yeah, no, I've tried.
I bought like the comic series and like before Civil War came out, I bought like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did I get through it?
Just after watching Endgame, like how can you read a book about these people? Like that shit was so
No. This was prior to all of that I was trying. It's just like, you know what? I'm a movie guy. I enjoy the cinematic universe that they are building, so I'm sticking to that, and then we can talk about it. We can have people on who kind of deep dive a little bit more, and it's interesting to know, but I'm not going to sit there and just like
outsource our expertise.
Oh, for sure. That's why we have contacts for that.
It's not our forte.
We have connections for that. But I am looking forward to this Ironheart series. I think it's a dope ass concept. And I think that it would be a great TV show that we're gonna get. And she gets she shows up in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
So is she being? Do you think she's? Are they saying she's being introduced, or
this will be the first?
This will be the first. So the Ironheart series is not coming out until after Wakanda Forever.
It's not correct, and it's definitely Ironheart is not coming out. Like you said, I haven't even seen a
date. No,
a date for that. So
not good.
Let me
not
see.
Good.
Did you check on IMDb?
Yeah.
And there's nothing there?
Nope.
Yeah, so no dates. So we know. So in Wakanda Forever comes out next year, so that will be the first time we see her. And we know that we know that a lot of these characters are going to be introduced in other areas. I'm just really interested in seeing like when are we going to get, and how are we going to get the death of T'Challa.
Yeah.
T'Challa?
T'Challa, yeah. What did I say?
T'Challa?
T'Challa? That's what I said?
You said T'Challa.
Oh, T'Challa. My bad. I want to see, because that's my theory, is like we're gonna experience his death. We have to prior to, or some sort of news reference prior to Wakanda Forever, because they already said they're not recasting Chadwick Boseman.
Right.
So we can't start the movie and like it's just like, hey, he's dead now.
Just like a conversation,
we're just gonna move
like
on.
A passing conversation. Somebody yells it out their window.
Right.
You're like, oh damn.
So we have to deal with that cinematic wise.
Yeah.
We need the MCU. Started off with some kind of funeral.
They could, however, that's again, it's just like last time we saw T'Challa was Endgame.
Right. So there could be
other than what if. That would be so underwhelming and not a proper send off. I think like it's not for me, that would just be extremely underwhelming. We just get to Black Panther 2 and then it's just like first 5 minutes is like, hey,
I mean,
he's
they're
dead.
gonna honor
this is
him.
how he died. They're gonna honor him, but I'm just saying, like, it just makes no sense. Like he's the man. Like you could even if it's like some CGI shit where we get like a dope ass scene that shows something happened to him, then I guess it would be better. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't think that they're gonna wait until the movie drops.
No, but then people will
and
talk
that's the
shit
only thing that
about
we
them
have.
making a CGI Chad Boseman.
I mean,
I don't know.
they're just gonna mention it. So like, hey, yeah, he's
Not
dead.
mention
So
it. They're gonna spend 10 minutes memorializing the dude in a freaking ceremony.
That's my point, though, is how. But like, you're just mentioning that he died, and then they go into the ceremony. But story-wise,
During the
it's just like
ceremony,
he just
they
died.
will give you the exposition of how this whole thing happened.
In my opinion, that shit would be that shit would just.
You
be
would
like,
sounds
rather
like you
they
want them
make a
to cry
CGI
for 2
fake
hours.
Chadwick.
I'd rather they explain it a little bit more in depth.
How long should they
How
spend
long
on
should
it?
they spend in this
fucking
story?
know.
A half hour? Is a
exposition?
half hour sufficient?
No, I'm not saying like for the movie it makes sense that they have to we deal with it and it moves on. But my point is like my point is like there has to be a mention of it prior to the movie dropping. It within the MCU.
So that the movie can get away with not spending.
So
a
like
lot of
in
time
another
on it.
MCU
Yeah.
movie, they're gonna just briefly mention how T'Challa died, and then we'll get the full
We
story.
don't know if he
in
didn't
Wakanda
film
Forever.
anything. We don't know if he didn't film any other scenes in like another movie or another.
What if he got into like a car accident at the end of Shang-Chi?
That would be wild.
That would be wild.
See,
Yeah.
but even then,
See, I
it's
just
I
like
like
just
that
don't
shit.
think any of these movies that they have right now have
Yeah.
any.
they didn't prepare for that.
No, yeah, they haven't prepared.
They didn't
And
prepare
I
for
mean,
that.
they could always rewrite, but I don't know. I think like
It's gonna be
we
It's
might
gonna
be
be interesting how they
expecting
do
too
it.
much of them.
probably yeah. It's gonna be interesting how they approach
I mean, this is
that
next
that
year.
situation. It is next year.
I really thought that
it's
movie
very
was
soon.
coming out so much later.
Right.
That's wild.
And probably was. Well, like when they announced that shit, it was like
It was
3 years
yeah,
in
it
the
was probably
future,
like 2018,
dude.
2019 when they announced it.
Yeah, it felt like a long ass time. You're like, damn.
It was 2019 because we were all super excited, and then 2020 happened. And
Yeah,
nothing.
you're right.
We got
So yeah,
nothing.
2022 sounded so far away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now I'd like to stop it from becoming 2022 for just like another month.
Yeah,
two.
I'm just like I'm very
want an extra
interested in
month?
seeing.
13th
that's it.
month in the year.
13th month. Just one time. Then we
Just
can go
make
back
it.
to January.
Time is
Just
an
in my
illusion.
head, work, everything. Like, no, this is my off month.
It's like,
I'm
no,
good.
this is not January. This is Debuary.
February.
Oh man.
Buy me a calendar like that for Christmas. I'll rock it.
Yeah. I just want to be able to just go home, not work, and and they still pay me like it did for COVID, except like movies don't get thrown off. Or,
Right. You can go out to restaurants and stuff. So the
And you
world
can
is
still do
functioning fine. You're just getting paid to be home and do nothing.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of
That'd be
dope,
great.
actually. I'll fuck
That'd
with
be
that.
great.
Sign
Yeah.
me up.
Sounds
that'd be
like the
wonderful.
lotto. I think you should play the lotto.
Oh man.
Win for life.
$1,000 a week, baby.
Yeah.
Jeez, that'd be dope.
That
I
would
hate
be
the lotto.
dope.
I can't. I try to explain to my mother, side tangent. I try to explain to her because my mother is, one of those older women, like most mothers, where every day it's like I play my numbers.
Oh, damn. Yeah, daily. That's
Kinda thing.
That gets
Ooh, the
expensive.
daily.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, they don't see it that way because it's $1 box here, $1,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the smaller ones. It says like $1 here, $1 there, and I'm like, and I tell my mother, I'm like, yo, by the time you actually win something by playing this,
Yeah.
you've
You're in the hole.
maybe you've broken even, maybe on if you're good, but you're probably in the hole. You know what I
Depends
mean?
how big the win is.
Right.
Yeah, because like that's her thing is like if you match the 4 numbers, and it's in the order of the 4 numbers of the ways that then you get like 5K. You know what I mean? So like a good 5 stacks.
Yeah. See,
But
that one is
I-
not worth it. It's still not worth.
I was
5K
gonna say,
is your
yeah.
No.
maximum win.
What kind of
She's
hood-ass
probably
lotto is
spent
this? What is she
5,000 over the
playing?
last-
That's take 4.
20
Take
years,
4.
30 years she's been playing it.
That's
Yeah.
the thing is she doesn't play the Mega
Oh, you gotta
Millions
play the
or
Mega
anything.
Millions,
Yeah, I
baby. You
feel
gotta
you.
go
I'm just
big.
saying.
I
She
buy
plays the
one of
Or at
smaller
those
least
shit.
the,
tickets
like, New
when that
York
shit gets
lotto.
crazy.
Yeah, she plays like the smaller three numbers, 4 numbers, $1 here, $2 here, $3
But she
here.
be hitting every now and then.
Every now and then,
just
but it's
enough, just enough to keep her coming back.
To keep coming
but that's my point, man. It's probably by the time she hits it, it's probably like years, right?
You're right,
like a few years.
Yeah.
And every single year, if it's $1 a day, that's $365 at the end of that year. And for a couple of years, do the math. And it's not just $1 a day. It'd probably be like 2, 3 because it's 2, 3 numbers.
Right.
I still get that message from her all the time. Oh, your birthday came out.
Your birthday came out.
Right? She's like, your birthday came out. You should play your birthday, right? But every time she says that, I don't know if she means it's 910, it's 0983 for the 4.
Yeah.
Like every single time. It's your birthday. You should play your birthday. But it's like a different sequence of numbers, and that shit is just frustrating. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's continue with just play your birthday every
having
number
too, right?
Right.
Where she dreams of numbers.
Yeah. She was always. I remember she had a book when we were younger where if you dreamt of something you would.
Oh, that's dope! Like a dream dictionary.
Yeah,
that's fire. Actually, I would fuck with that. I like to know dreams and shit. I like to read about dreams and all kinds of meanings and shit. That's actually fire.
Yeah, so she would do that.
Does she have it still?
If you dream where someone shows their teeth, this means death, and you know what I mean? Like it's so stupid. It's crazy. All right, so in further Hollywood news, so apparently Scarlet Witch will reportedly fight an MCU Fox Sony characters in Doctor Strange 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, so they alluded to the fact that she would be fighting a Fox verse character, which would have to be an X-Men. And we were talking about me and the it would have to be like a mutant,
unless it was Deadpool.
And this, that's true. That's true.
A mutant or Deadpool.
Yeah.
Who is also a mutant.
So. It says, and we knew about that she's the villain. But anyway, in a tweet, the Hollywood tipster, there's a Hollywood tipster who came out and said that that she will be fighting. Basically, she will fight everyone in the Multiverse of Madness, including returning characters from all 3 Marvel film franchises: MCU, Fox, and Sony.
What?
So,
well, I guess Spider-Man, Sony.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I mean, but Spider-Man is
Venom.
Sony. Could be Venom. Could be
But
I don't think Venom.
That's a stretch.
Venom's not gonna.
If
Venom.
If
If Sony did Venom better, then maybe. But I don't think Tom Hardy's Venom should make it into the MCU. It's not. It's not. No. No.
You still haven't even seen
everybody
this new movie, and you talking.
I'm still basing it off of the first one.
Well,
exactly. And no. Yeah. That's it's still a no for me, dog. You all right? You caught it? Now clean my table, bitch. I'm just fucking with you.
We're good.
What in the hell?
You been worrying about that motherfucker
we just
fly
saw this motherfucker, Mr. Miyagi, fly on the pod.
He's been trying to get it all motherfucking day.
He literally picked it up, caught it with his hand, slammed it against the table, and now he's nonchalantly just chilling. Like he ain't just do that.
Nice.
Protecting you, son. I got you.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Got you.
That's what's
I
up.
appreciate you. And they're saying that she is the villain, which I remember very early on them saying that Scarlet Witch is the villain in the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we were aware of that.
Yeah, I
didn't know how it was
we were
get there, and I don't think we still know.
We were, however, I feel like people are just like moving away from that, like you know what I mean? Like they haven't been saying that or alluding to that. they're just like, what is she gonna do? You know, because we all love her from WandaVision, and you know, and but we know Wanda.
Scene.
Yeah, we know Wanda. We don't
and we don't know Scarlet.
We don't know Scarlet Witch.
You're right.
You know, so she's gonna be a fun game would be like, who the fuck in the Foxverse is she gonna fight? My thought is my thought would be, only because I think it would be a dope ass battle, would be Phoenix. Dark Phoenix.
That's what I figured you would say.
You thought so?
Jean
Jean Grey
versus Wanda Scarlet Witch would be.
I don't think that's gonna happen, because we would have to introduce Jean Grey.
Yeah.
We would have to get to the Dark Phoenix, and it better not be the. I mean, but they said it's the Foxverse one. I didn't see that movie
Fantastic
though.
Four.
Ooh,
That's closer to coming, right? Because Mutants doesn't even have a director assigned to it yet, right?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So, Fantastic Four, I would say, is closer to coming. Is also in the Fox universe.
So they're gonna make that that bullshit Fox version of it canon?
No, I'm saying that we're gonna get a Richard Baxter. Wait, you're saying?
But would that be Foxverse, because they got the rights back from Fox?
Yeah. So I don't. Well, maybe I don't understand what this.
The implications
rumor is implying. Are they talking about? They said that she's gonna fight characters from all three properties that are owned by Marvel. Are they talking about in a interdimensional way, like? Because the
multiverse.
Sony, yeah, I get it. It's the multiverse of madness. But like, are they going to be the same people with the same actors? Is that the implication? Because if that case, I don't see anyone.
That is the implication.
I don't see that happening at all. I think
is that the
I call bullshit
implication?
on the rumor if that's the case. Like, they're not bringing anybody from that played a character other than in the Fox way. The only way they get the passes, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, because he's in the Fox universe and he's the same person playing the character. But on the Sony side, other than Spider-Man, I don't see them bringing anybody from Sony's Spider-Verse into the multiverse of madness.
I took that as the property, like the character.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I didn't think of it as the actor that portrayed that character, like the actual property that Fox owns. Like, they don't own like Jessica Alba or any of that shit. Like, they just owned like Sue Storm and like the characters. I thought, like,
So
I never
likely it's going to be.
They do own Jessica Alba because they bought Fox. So they don't.
But,
own,
like, I
not
mean,
the
like,
actress.
Sue Storm.
Right, that's what I
own
mean.
Sue
Like,
Storm, played by Jessica Alba.
Right, absolutely, yes, right.
And they could
and
bring
we could
her
see
back
another,
if they wanted to,
right,
as Jessica Alba.
as somebody else. They could, though, but I don't think they would.
I don't think so either.
That would be yucky.
But I do think I would.
Well,
if it's not
I think that's the
Deadpool,
assumption, though.
My assumption would be like that we would get introduced to Reed Richards
Fantastic
and Sue Storm
Four.
and maybe not the full Fantastic Four yet, because that movie's coming out after Multiverse. But maybe, like, like you said, one of the characters, either those two primary characters, or I don't know, fucking Johnny Storm or something stupidly like that.
Well, we would have to. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out.
But that's interesting.
It's going to be a lot of mystical stuff going on in that movie, and let's not forget, man. They said that this is going to be Marvel's first attempt at horror movie.
That's right.
So that's
Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah, Sam Raimi. So it's gonna be dope, man. I'm can't wait for that.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get some dope ass characters. We're gonna get some dope ass fight scenes. Like, apparently,
I mean, we'll probably get a good idea from the kind of the way things turn out after Spider-Man's No Way Home, right? We'll kind of see what that they're It's just another multi-dimensional thing that is I don't know. It's weird. There's three,
it's very weird, yeah.
four. There's like 4 multi-dimensional stories going on right now. How are they gonna link them all together?
Might as well list them off, right? So Loki, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and Quantum Mania are all having to do with like multiverse jumping through
Scarlet
time.
Witch. You could say there's a multiversal thing that she's doing at the end where she's looking.
That's true.
In some way.
No, she was learning, and the theory is that when Loki when they crossed that time period where the multiverse opened, that's when she heard the kids screaming for her. Yeah. And it was like, oh, okay. So that
and
kind
also,
of
what if?
Yeah. What if? What if is definitely
talks about
we're just
different dimensions.
We're just brushing that shit off
because it's so wild
because they are so very wild.
Yeah.
And come by the time this drops, we would already get the new episode, but we're getting
the zombie episode?
The one with no. This is I forget his name. The Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange. Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay.
We're getting that one. Yeah, so we're getting that.
That's dope.
Week. Yeah, so that's gonna be fire.
I've been fucking with those. I like those a lot.
Yeah, no, they're
really
good.
Yeah.
They're good. The only one I didn't fuck with as much is the Captain America one because I didn't really fuck with Captain America. That first, the first Avenger and all that shit.
Or like Agent Carter. I don't give a
Agent
fuck.
Carter, yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan of that whole, like, I saw it and it was good for the time and it was just, but I still even remember just like, it was definitely not my favorite of the series. You know what I mean? It was just like the time period and all that shit.
I wonder why they dropped that first too. I thought that was weird. You usually want to
get it out of the way,
dope like first, just to get them hooked dude.
They get it out of the way because the first one you're just gonna be like,
you're gonna watch it regardless. It's the first one.
Yeah, they're right.
They know you're gonna watch it regardless, and then it's like enough. Yeah,
no,
it wasn't bad. It was just like enough where you were just like, oh, I see what this is. It's just like a complete. But you weren't
groundwork. They don't want to get too crazy. They don't want to. I think that's probably why. I answered my own question. It was just light enough. The story wasn't as outlandish. You're like, okay, that's I guess more plausible.
Kind of cool. Kind of. It's like, all right, it's kind of cool to see like if this happened, and then they're just getting
and they expound on it and you're like, oh shit, everybody's dead in the first 10 minutes. What the fuck's going on?
My son was devastated. Sure.
You can't let kids watch that. Jesus Christ,
I
dude.
Know.
Didn't know
when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. You let him watch What If?
My son was devastated.
Of course.
I mean,
then when we watched Showgirls, he was like, what are boobies?
Exploded in front of his eyes.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I didn't know what was
crazy.
coming.
That's crazy.
I mean, we saw the first one. What it was?
Kid.
What was the first? The first one was
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter.
The second one was what was the second one?
The T'Challa.
T'Challa. Yeah, T'Challa is where
Star-Lord.
in those two do you feel like my kid shouldn't watch this?
I don't know.
Right. So the third one, I'm like,
I
really want to watch this.
Appropriate, I would say.
Whatever. I was like, yo, all right. So this third one, my kid's watching TV. I got this time available. Right. He's kind of jumping around, not really watching anyway. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna watch something real quick. It's a cartoon. It has the Avengers. Great. Blah blah blah. And then
you got him to pay attention to it.
Yeah,
like, you want to watch the Avengers,
it,
buddy?
And he was just like, oh, okay.
Here's the Avengers.
And then when the Hulk blew up, he was like, did the Hulk just die?
Did the Hulk just die? Like, yeah, buddy, the Hulk's dead. Sorry. That's okay. Iron Man will save him. No, sorry, buddy. Iron Man's dead, too. What about Santa? Santa's also dead. But I'm sorry. It's been a bad day for you, I know. It's okay.
My bad. Spoiler alert.
Then you fake a heart attack and just drop to the ground. He's like, what's happening around me?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Dave always
all right,
thinks
so
it.
Always.
I mean, you're gonna let him watch it. Why not just go all in, dude?
Yeah.
Just go all into your fake your death.
Yep.
He loves doing that shit. All right, so since we're still on the MCU, we can drop this real quick. But Anthony Mackie, it was released a couple weeks ago that he is confirmed for Captain America 4, which we are not surprised by that.
No.
Not at all. But for some reason, they felt the need to say he is absolutely confirmed to be in Captain America 4. It's like
they were bored.
They're
like, let's toss this out there.
I thought that this is what the whole Falcon Winter Soldier was about, but cool. All right, cool.
Nice to know.
Thanks for confirming.
But are you excited to see him as Captain America in his own Captain America film?
Sure. Excited? I don't know about excited. I'm as excited as I was for Falcon Winter Soldier. Sure. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. I watched all of it. It
wasn't one of the ones where we were just like, yo!
Right.
If Bucky's going to be in it, if Winter Soldier's going to be in it, I'll be stoked for it.
Sure. I'm sure he's in all the Captain Americas.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
That's
the
like
next
the show that he is on. But what I want to know is, and what I'm looking forward to seeing is, are we getting the same feeling as the other Captain Americas? Because the first one was just the introduction, but everything after that was just like, it was kind of like the Avengers films, like the feeling, because they brought together all of the heroes in these films. We had Civil War. We had like some epic ass Captain America.
All of the Captain Americas after the first one, I think, were reunion films.
Exactly. Other than the Avengers, and so are we getting that same feeling from it? Like, what are we?
I think so.
What are we getting?
It's a Phase 4 Captain America. I think it's going to be tying into the overall story. Whoever the big bad ends up being, if it's Kang the Conqueror or if it's someone bigger, I think then we're going to see this Captain America film tie into that, and probably be also tied into the overall Captain American lore when the Falcon takes over. Like, this is all part of it, right? So I'm sure they're gonna mix it in. It's gonna feel.
It'll feel natural, organic.
Because the show felt like a Captain America show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They had that same kind of vibe, and especially even what they were fighting for was like a global threat about freedoms and shit like that. Like, that was the same type of shit Captain America would do.
Yeah. I think that they did a very good job with tying in what we've seen with like the pandemic and everything, and like the social justice issues and stuff, and kind of tying all of that into the series. I thought they did a good job. I would like to not dive as deep. I want it to be more of a Captain America film, and having him be like an active, like, dope ass Captain America, and like take action, so that now that we've gotten that exactly, like, we've gotten that part out of the way, and you know what, Bucky and Falcon and the Winter Soldier can be about that. It can be about like his like the family dynamics, the struggles of being a black superhero taking up this man. It could even still continue to be that. The show is great that way. I think that the movie just needs to be all about like the action and his superhero abilities, and him taking up the mantle.
He doesn't have superhero abilities.
I mean, yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like, but just taking that mantle and like showing that he can he can be just as good as Cap or whatever.
I agree.
So I'm hoping that they just stick with that rather than having to still deal with like some of the stuff that we've seen in the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I think they got that out of their system.
I think that's what. Yeah, that's more. It's a show, right? Like that
was timely. Yeah. It was timely as well.
Yep.
I think that was definitely by accident.
You think? Oh yeah. They probably planned all that out, and then it just kind of just
lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember they had like they said that they had there was a virus in the show, and they cut a whole bunch of scenes out and refilmed some other scenes. So they filmed that shit before even COVID was a thing. So racial sensitivity and equality topics has been kind of talked about, more so in the past 4 or 5 years than before, but definitely hit a
not as much
huge
as,
point at the George Floyd moment, and this shit came out after all of that, so it definitely makes it seem like it was in response to that, but I think they filmed the shit before.
Yeah, makes sense, though.
Yeah.
So it worked out for them.
Yeah,
Sure
it worked out.
The films.
I just want to see.
But I think that's just what a TV show.
Feeling
of
a
got
Captain
the
America.
extra time to dive into these types of topics that you don't really touch on in movies.
I know, but they could easily just still have an undertone of that lingering into the movie, and I just want a Captain America feeling movie, because Captain America movies were epic ass movies that are just no, I mean, every movie is not about him being white.
Exactly.
And every movie about white people is not about them being white.
Exactly, because they just are.
They just are, right? They don't have to think about that. Dave.
What do we got coming up next? What else is on the note sheet there?
In the world of Star Wars, nothing major, nothing too crazy, but it was cool to get some sort of small update. And Carl Weathers took to
Mando
social
update?
media and stated that The Mandalorian season 3 will begin filming next month.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, so we're good. So they're going to start filming in September, which means that we are on track for getting Mando season 3.
Does that mean The Last of Us is done filming for HBO? Because that was Pedro Pascal, right?
They don't necessarily need Pedro Pascal to be there.
That's also what I was thinking too.
They don't.
How much
They've already
does he
said
actually film as Mando versus a stunt double in the Mando suit?
If a stunt double is, as long as it doesn't have to show his face, I
That's
read something
barely
stating
anything,
that.
dude. He took his helmet off.
I don't know.
He doesn't necessarily have to be there.
Of course, he doesn't have to, but I'm pretty sure he films all of those.
He seems
scenes.
pretty tight with the crew. He doesn't just show up once every couple months and be like, "Hey, pop my fucking helmet off."
I mean,
Pedro
I
Pascal.
get it. I get that. What I'm saying is if there's a small overlay, let's say and they've been filming Last of Us for about a month, a couple months, right?
They're probably
done.
They're probably done. If not, if there's probably a small layover where he can't be a part of some of the filming, but they don't need to rely on him being completely available within a certain time frame, because they're not gonna push that shit back if he's wearing armor the entire fucking time. Obviously, I think
it has to be a scene that he's not doing anything.
Like an over the shoulder when you just see the side of his mask and his back shoulder. That's not Pedro Pascal.
So you're telling me that Pedro Pascal was in every fucking scene?
I like to think he's in more than
he
just,
was.
I believe, a couple headshots, dude.
Other than the stunts.
Yeah. So film the stunt shots.
He was in
Stunt
fucking
cock.
every scene.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not necessarily that he's not going to be in the scenes at all in Mando 3. But if there's a small, if they set
I
for
know
September,
what you're saying.
it's
You're saying
been
that
dead
anyone
set in
could
September.
Put a mask
Anybody
on
can do that.
and block the shot in a shot that Mando doesn't have to move or something. Absolutely,
I could do that.
It doesn't
shit. I could be
prevent
Mando.
production from
Dope.
moving forward.
Right.
But I do think it would be weird. It would take
If they were
it would
filming
take some
these
planning.
if they were on the same lot, he could run back and forth between the productions and Mando.
No, but
and then
Last
Joel,
of Us is HBO,
and
so
then
that's
Mando.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly, I think
speaking
he's
of
just
that-
going to be done by that. But
Yeah, I think he's done.
that's
He's going to
the
be done
easier
by that.
answer. Let's plan around your schedule.
I think he's going to be done by that. But
I hope so. I want to see
nice
that
side,
Last of Us shit.
Nice side story. Since you're talking about that, who actually had to do that? was Michael J. Fox. I was watching the show, the
movies that
the
made
movies
us.
that
Yeah,
made
I
us.
watched that.
With about Back to the Future, and they filmed a bunch of those scenes with what was his name? Dude who played the mask.
Yeah, what's his face? Eric Stoltz?
Yep. Eric Stoltz actually filmed a bunch of scenes because the producer just felt like Eric Stoltz was the man to play Marty McFly. Huh. And that was super fucking odd.
Dude, those scenes were garbage. You see it. You can catch them on the internet, dude. You can see him playing the Marty scenes, dude.
Yeah, they were explaining.
So bad.
They were explaining that he, for whatever reason, just thought that these, like in his head, he had it that these were serious roles. They weren't playful, nothing. He like took this tone, like, what would I do, like if I was back in time, and would have like this serious look on his face,
right? And
everybody's just like, yo, what the fuck? Until they had to finally like, just like, come on, man, like we need to go. And Michael J. Fox was their thought the whole time. Mm-hmm. But I brought it all up just to say that he did that shit. Like that was his thing, where he was filming Family Ties at that time, and obviously that was like his major bread,
part of his contract. But when they had to be available,
when they asked him like, "Hey, do you want to film this movie?" He said he didn't even care. It was like, oh, it's more than half an hour.
Was it Zemeckis? And he saw that it was Zemeckis. And he was
no, I don't even think it was that. I think he was just like, oh, this script is. He saw the size of the script.
Oh, that's
like, and compared it to like his current script on like for a TV show, and was just like, I'm in. Like I like it's a movie. Like I want a movie.
Wow.
And then he did it. He filmed it, and instantly when he started doing it, but he was the entire time he was flying back and forth from like London, wherever the fuck they filmed.
Yeah.
Family Ties, and he was flying there to record, and he was just constantly tired and half asleep.
Family Ties in London?
I don't think it was in London.
It was overseas. It was definitely He was explaining that it was overseas.
Damn.
I thought it was like
crazy.
Overseas. I could have sworn that they said, because I thought the same exact thing. Like, what?
Overseas. You got Johnny looking it up now. He's like, I can't stand for that.
Watching me like it's going to be in L.A. like in a lot.
From L.A. to New York, probably.
I just remember thinking that. I remember thinking that. Like, why the fuck would they do that?
To go LA
but either way, Either way, he had to fly to the set and then fly back. So he was constantly tired. That when they actually
maybe
and then
they were filming Back to the Future in London or some shit.
No, because I don't think so. I forgot what town it was that they filmed it, but it was in a small town, and they
nobody on that show was British. I don't know why.
It was definitely LA.
It was a very American like.
I could have sworn they said that, because I was thinking like, why the fuck would they do that? But either way. He was flying back and forth. He was extremely tired, and they filmed every scene like a couple times or whatever. And by the time they actually put the movie together, he was like apologizing. He was just like, "I'm so sorry, like that I was so tired, and and I'll do better if you give me another." And then they're just like, "Dude, you have the #1 fucking movie in the world."
Like you
know what I mean? And he was like, he was blown away by it. So yeah, I just said all that to say, like, yeah, sometimes they do that shit. Yeah. They allow them to fly back and forth, depending on what the scheduling is. Definitely. Or at least they did in the 80s.
Yeah.
Probably more so back then than they do now.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Well, now with the pandemic, you're not really going anywhere.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about, fuck the pandemic.
Intercontinental flights every week.
Yeah. We don't really have anything else other than
this Last of Us, though, is not coming out till 2022. So
yeah,
I mean, we only have a few months. Edit. We only have a few months left in the year.
Yeah, that's not too. We say that, but it's not too far away.
It's not too far.
True, it's almost September, dog.
We keep thinking like, yo, I feel like we just entered 2021.
It's the end of 2020.
Yeah.
No, but I think
2022.
I was thinking. I wasn't thinking like January. But
I always think January, and then I get disappointed if it's not. Anytime so this is 1 year, it's like, oh, January of that year, cool. That's not long.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, December, damn,
6 episodes.
Yeah, probably 40 minutes.
It's HBO,
so all right,
probably not.
52.
No, it'll
52
like
minutes. One will
like
be
52.
56.
Yeah.
One will be 51.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a great show.
I'll take it. Give me it. Yeah,
We'll
I'm
see.
pumped for it.
I hope
Yeah.
it's not like
So-
a weak ass Walking Dead type.
Come on.
Nah.
HBO Max,
HBO,
dog.
nah, I
HBO
don't think
Max.
That
so.
means nothing to me right now.
What? Why? What? How did they? What did they do
What's-
you dirty? I don't understand. Where's this coming
HBO
from?
Max
Jack?
is not-
Where is this coming from?
What's the latest? The last HBO
No, this is just
Max?
coming. This is off HBO's dick. HBO Max is part of HBO, and I give HBO all
okay.
kinds of props.
What's the last HBO original?
Watchmen.
Okay, that was before
No, it's a
any of
couple
these
years ago.
AT&T
I mean,
people took over.
what's really been coming out since? Has anything
Exactly.
dropped since?
They drop shit every 3 months.
Nah, it's gonna be dope. You're underselling it to the audience.
I'm tempering my expectations.
Yeah, you are. They're, I think, a little too tempered. Maybe untemper them a little bit. Jesus. HBO Max over here like it's fucking CW. Give them a little bit of
I'm
credit.
not giving them CW. Come on now.
It sounded like it. It sounded like it. It's like,
right
oh, I'm
now,
not expecting
I'm
much.
giving them AMC,
Yeah, okay, that's AMC,
which is not
fucks,
bad.
dude.
It's not bad. AMC fucks.
Emmy
But
after Emmy,
the
dog.
AMC
That's
also
the
has a
home
lot
of
of
the
flops
Emmys.
too.
I mean, yeah, they got that Badlands show or whatever that bullshit was, dude. I don't know. That's fair. Okay, yeah. I like that. I like the we'll go with AMC for now. I guess I need to temper my expectations a little bit more.
They ain't fucking
I'm
like
going
Apple
through
TV
a lot of that
Plus.
shit, and I'm like, I know, man.
Ain't Ted Lasso. That's for goddamn sure.
It ain't Ted Lasso. I just
Damn.
saw 3/4 of C season 2 episode 1, and already I'm just like,
Yo, that shit
that
crazy.
shit is crazy.
That was
That
crazy.
shit is crazy. Yeah,
Yo,
Baba
this-
Voss ain't fucking
This
Wow.
around.
podcast
No.
started, I think the reason I decided to jump on this show was because y'all were talking about C with Prince and he hadn't seen it. And I was like, what the fuck? They need somebody on the show that has seen C.
Seen some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually keeps up with anything like we do. Luckily, you were that guy, bro. Just a little tidbit that came out of there, which doesn't really fucking matter anymore. But you know what? We'll talk about it anyway. So apparently, the director of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns and Flashpoint Paradox, the animated cartoons that came out in DC, because we know that those DC cartoons fuck most of the time, actually came out and said that the original Affleck script was the best Batman script I've ever read. Ben had a kick-ass story, and I believe that the audience and fans would have loved it. So now, of course, that's, having fans up in arms again. Just like, oh.
Affleck cut.
But then again, we just heard that that they've been giving
The
a
Batman.
rough cut of the Batman. They've been showing it to audiences, and audiences are raving about.
It was at CinemaCon, right?
You said that they dropped a trailer for CinemaCon, but did they actually give a rough cut of the movie?
I think not a rough cut of the film, but I think they
Because that's what they were
did
talking about. They showed people a rough cut of the film.
I think they showed a couple scenes, rough scenes from the movie at CinemaCon.
Okay.
I believe
Yeah,
that's what
because the
what
thing that I
happened.
read was that they actually showed a couple of, or they screened a few movies, but just like Casey said in the notes, because I think it was Rocco that dropped it, but Casey was just like, dude, in that in that setting where producers are sitting there in the room and shit, I would have given Spider-Man 3 like awesome fucking reviews just for that experience with producers and shit there. Like, so it's like we can't really go off of that, but I like to
guess.
think that the Batman is gonna be a fucking dope movie, man.
Yeah.
From what we've seen so far, and
It looks like the
Jason
filming
Bourne
is done,
fights.
is dope.
Yeah.
yep, the whole tone of it.
I hope the story is
and
dope.
this is old news by now, but might as well mention it too. We can end it on that. But there is a Black Canary spinoff in development for HBO Max from
Oh.
the Lovecraft Country showrunner.
Ooh.
That news came out a few weeks ago. Yep. Journey Smollett will obviously reprise her role as Black Canary in the solo film. This solo film will be an HBO Max original, and it will be written by Misha Green, who wrote Lovecraft Country. And if you haven't seen Lovecraft Country, it's an interesting show.
Fucking love that show.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I was it ended the same way that fucking Watchmen did.
Yeah.
Where we were all excited about a second season, and then they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna drop
Just gonna leave it.
Like we're just gonna leave it because it's perfect as it is.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect
what?
as is.
Fuck.
Someone else can pick up the torch.
If they
Suck
want
my
it.
Right.
dick.
If they want it.
Fuck off. It's your job. You're the writers. This is what you do. I'm not a fucking writer.
You could
Get
be.
me started.
So I guess this is part of the DCEU then, right? Because she was in the Harley Quinn,
Yep.
which
She
is
was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
DCEU.
Yep.
Birds of Prey, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting the HBO Max DCEU because remember we talked a little bit ago that Batgirl was gonna be
That's right.
coming out as an
That's
HBO
right.
Max original, and Blue Beetle is
That's right.
coming
Blue Beetle,
out.
Yep. Speaking of Harley Quinn,
and
have y'all
all that
been
shit.
watching the animated?
I have not been watching. No,
No.
it is
I'm
great
getting
because I
close to
started
finishing
it,
the
but I
second
haven't
season.
been.
Nice.
It's been great. Like the episodes that I've seen, it is a great cartoon. Like it's awesome. I just, how much I watch TV. So
Right.
when I'm watching TV,
It's not
it's like I pick and choose what
Absolutely.
what I get to watch.
Gotta be strategic.
Yeah, I watched 3/4 of C, and it was amazing. But my girl,
man only got to watch 3/4.
my girl fell asleep, man, and we watched that together. She wouldn't care, but I was just like,
finishing that bitch
Oh,
off.
yeah,
I'm
I
saying,
finished
you
it.
can catch up on that last 15 by
Yeah, you gotta
yourself,
catch up
dog.
on the review when we watch the next one because you fell
Yeah.
asleep at them last 15 minutes.
nah.
That's on you.
I
I'll
ended up.
watch the next episode too.
I
And be
ended
like,
up-
bitch, you
Yeah,
missed
you're a
that
nice
too.
man. You pause it and you're
Nah,
like, oh, you
I'm-
fell asleep. I guess
It
we'll
depends.
go
It
to bed.
really depends. It really depends on the situation. This time around, I was just like, you know what? Like, the boxing match is going on. The
Okay,
guys
that was
are
last night,
watching
yeah.
it, so I was like,
Just
all
sit
right. So
out.
let me stop it. Cool. I'll wait for her. Hey, I'm just gonna step out for a little while, go watch that boxing match. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me.
True that.
Not too crazy. But guys, that's all we really have for episode 80, yo.
No doubt.
Yeah. Do you guys
8-0.
have anything stellar to add? 8-0.
Nah, I just want to remind
Wild,
everybody to
wild
cut that
stuff.
Insensitive merch.
That's true.
Oh shit.
Sensitivemerch.com. Don't forget.
Yep, insensitivemerch.com.
Shit, I
We
gotta
just
order.
dropped the dope ass big drippy
big
sweatshirt.
drippy
I can't
hoodie.
wait to get that.
Word.
I want to see how dope it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we have the dope ass crop top hoodies for the ladies.
Yeah.
Have some dope hats.
Ash is rocking it on Instagram. If you check the story
Mhm.
for
Word.
sensitive culture.
Word.
Looks dope.
It's yeah. We have some dope stuff. We really got to get some merch out here and take some photos so that we can really show you guys.
Some models. You
how-
want to be an
how
insensitive culture model? Hit us up.
Word. It's Rochester. We won't have too hard of a time.
Looking
Everybody
at you,
thinks they're
Obi-Wan.
models.
Word.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and what was his name? The Keith
Master.
Keith
Master.
Master.
Master and Obi-Wan.
Yo,
See
Keith
y'all
Master,
rocking.
you trying to rock some gear? You want to be a
Yeah,
model?
he is. Yeah, he does.
He's gonna hit me up just like, yo, y'all serious?
Yo, he won't get to this episode for another couple weeks though. He's been running through.
Yeah, he's been running through the full spread.
Yeah, he'll be here. Hit us up.
All right, guys. So as always, thank you for making it all the way to the end of the episode. We really appreciate you. We love you guys. As Johnny said, If you are interested in getting some Insensitive merch, go to www.insensitivemerch.com and grab some gear, man. Represent the Insensitive crew like you should, in style, looking fresh to death. We love it. Also, remember to have your friends and family rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, wherever it is that they would love to consume this type of content. Other than that, we love you guys. Peace.